Important update about YouTube playlists. Hey everyone. We've received many messages asking why our YouTube playlists aren't showing up. Do we create YouTube playlists? Yes, we absolutely do. So why can't you see them? Honestly, we're not sure. We've been in contact with YouTube support for several months now, but we still haven't received a clear answer or solution. After much discussion, our team has decided to take matters into our own hands. We believe the issue might be related to the number of playlists we've created on a single channel, possibly too many. Our solution? We're launching 2 additional YouTube channels, giving us a total of 3. This way, we can organize our audiobooks better and avoid the playlist visibility issue in the future. This change only affects our YouTube audience. If you're a patron supporter, you can still access all our audiobooks by visiting the collection menu on Patreon. Thanks so much for your time and continued support. Happy listening. No guild is willing to sacrifice so many people just to condense an aura with random attributes. If hundreds of professionals were sacrificed, and in the end, an attribute that can't be used is condensed, it'd be an enormous loss. After completing this, Lee Hashin exited King's Valley and returned to the instance prep room. At this time, the global chat permissions in the prep room were still turned on, and the screen was filled densely with rapidly scrolling comments. But the difference from before was that previously, the world was mocking the East Dragon Empire sarcastically, but now, the spearhead had turned towards Sakura Country. Haha, Sakura Country really stirred up trouble. They actually awakened a deep-sea dragon. Where's Kenjin from Heavenly Light? How does it feel to send your son off so early? Please share. TSK, truly there are hidden talents in East Dragon, not to be trifled with. Any woman that casually appears can take on 50 at once, how terrifying. Brother above, you don't know, the women in East Dragon are fiercer than the men. The peaks of Shurode Mountain, many an East Dragon man can't reach. Looking at the chaotic mess of comments flying across the screen, Lee Hashin grinned and then shut down the speaking permissions for other countries, leaving only Sakura Country? Where's the pumpkin heads from Sakura Country? I'll let you face 49 people. If you're unsatisfied, come fight. Suddenly, a name filled with question marks posted a comment. People from other countries, frustrated by the silence, saw this name filled with question marks. In the various instance halls of the East Dragon Empire, when everyone saw this sentence, they were first slightly stunned, then immediately burst into excitement. Haha. The tables have turned, it's our turn now. Those Sakura pigs, get on the stage if you're unhappy. The female boss is online looking for a challenge. Sakura Country, Heavenly Light Guild. Kobe Kenjin's forehead veins bulged, and his eyes were filled with bloodshot from anger. He roared frantically, I want that wretched woman dead. Where's the ninja department? Pick out 50 skilled hands from the Hidden Mist Village, use fog concealment technique to assassinate that wretched woman. Hi. The head of the ninja department, equally enraged by Lee Hashin's comment, responded loudly. Chapter 53, Invisibility? I'll just blast the ground with firepower. A few minutes later, the Sakura Country finally started sending people in again. Wang Qingfeng and the others glanced at the succession of Sakura Country names appearing in the blue camp, their eyebrows slightly raised. Huzuki Machiduki, Huzuki Tsuki Akari, Hoshigaki Hikawa, Hoshigaki Okada. Huh, all from the Hidden Mist Village, the Huzuki and Hoshigaki families. Does Kobe Kenjin want to play assassination tactics? Ling Xuan sneered, Humphrey, Hashin's tanks have radar scanning devices, and there's enough of them. Does the Sakura Country still want to play assassination? They're courting death. Camp Battle Dungeon, Preparation Room. Lee Hashin looked at the battle start notification sent from the blue side, sneered, and clicked confirm. In the preparation room, a strong white light lit up again, engulfing Lee Hashin. As the scenery changed before his eyes, the familiar sensation of teleporting quickly faded. Lee Hashin found himself back on that familiar high ground, not far in front of him, the massive red crystal. This time, Lee Hashin was already experienced. Without saying a word, he began deploying tanks outside with a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the blink of an eye, 50 tanks were lined up again in front of the high ground. Then, following the previous tactic, Lee Hashin dispatched 9 tanks to the 9 defense towers, completing the radar placements. And on the high ground, 20 tanks began adjusting their turrets, preparing to first seize the red and blue buffs from the enemy. On the Sakura Country's side, 50 Heavenly Light Ninja Department professionals from the Hidden Mist Village appeared on the high ground. 2 leading youths exchanged glances and simultaneously gave the order. Huzuki Group, Fog Concealment Technique. Hoshigaki Group, Fog Concealment Technique. Hi. The others responded in unison. Subsequently, these 15 ninjas quickly formed hand seals in front of their chests, almost like playing cat's cradle. Over 90% of the Sakura Country's professionals are mainly on Myoji, Samurai, and ninja. Though the types are singular, their abilities and focuses differ. Take ninjas, one of the three major types, for instance. This group has a history of several hundred years in the Sakura country, congregating in villages based on abilities and specializing in various peculiar ninjutsu and physical arts. Their ninjutsu is similar to the East Dragon Empire's spells but requires specific hand seal formations when casting. Those sent by Kobe Kinjin are all the top talents under level 50 from the Hidden Mist Village, classed as elite lower-level ninjas by their standards. The two leading them are middle-level ninjas over level 50, who entered after self-limiting through level and equipment balancing. The elites handpicked by Kobe Kinjin are naturally not lacking in ability. In just the blink of an eye, the 50 ninjas finished their hand seals, puffing their cheeks like toads, exhaling with a whoosh. Strangely, though, what they exhaled was a large amount of thick mist. And the mist spread at an incredibly fast rate, instantly engulfing the blue camp and rapidly extending towards Lee Hashin's red camp. After exhaling the mist, the two leading youths, Huzuki Machiruki and Hoshigaki Hikawa, exchanged a glance and quickly commanded, "Everyone disperse, stealth and encircle. Once the enemy is discovered, signal immediately, and kill them." Hi. Then, all the ninjas leaped simultaneously, diving into the mist and vanishing. Their figures and auras completely hidden. After summoning and lining up the tanks, Lee Hashin also immediately unfolded the God's Eye view to observe enemy movements. However, it's undeniable that these Sakura country ninjas moved quickly. By the time Lee Hashin brought them into sight, he happened to see these gray-white hat-clad Hidden Mist Village ninjas immersing themselves into the mist like dumplings, concealing their figures completely. Lee Hashin raised an eyebrow, curiously muttering to himself. Because he noticed that after these ninjas entered the mist, it was as if they truly disappeared. No matter how he zoomed in on any area within the dense mist, he couldn't spot them. If viewed from above, the entire blue camp in the canyon was completely covered by the mist, not a silhouette in sight. Even the fluctuation of airflow, Lee Hashin couldn't detect at all. It was as if those 15 inches had vanished altogether. Interesting, these Sakura country ninjas aren't entirely useless, quite good at hide-and-seek, Lee Hashin mumbled. But unfortunately, while the Hidden Mist Village ninjas can completely vanish in the mist, they can't also hide the blue and red elite monsters in the mist. Lee Hashin just needed to zoom in to clearly see the positions of the blue and red elite monsters. With clack, 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 the tank turrets quickly adjusted, and with a boom, a dramatic explosion resounded where the red and blue elite monsters were. Without a single sound, the two elite monsters were instantly brought down, offering their buffs to Lee Hashin. Huzuki Machiruki, the leader of the Huzuki clan, was rushing toward the blue elite monster's location, using the fog concealment technique, a focused gaze in his eyes. However, just as he was about to reach the blue elite monster, an intense sense of danger struck suddenly. Boom. In his shocked eyes, the blue elite monster was blasted into pieces. The wind pressure from the explosion instantly cleared the mist, and with the mist's protection gone, Huzuki Machiruki's figure was immediately exposed. Startled, he shouted urgently as he rapidly spewed out mist again to conceal himself. Long-range attack. It's a superpower weapon. He's a mechanic. Everyone, take note, he's a mechanic. Lee Hashin grinned, murderous intent flickering in his eyes, muttering, "So what if you know I'm a mechanic? My cannon has unlimited ammo." In the next moment, 50 more tanks appeared in front of Lee Hashin. All the tanks, under Lee Hashin's control, adjusted angles forming a multi-layered gradient, then fired fiercely. Boom. 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 Dense shells rained frenziedly on the blue camp within a 20-meter radius. Boom. 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 The continuous explosions thundered along the river connecting both camps, and quickly spread over the blue side. After confirming they were all Hidden Mist Village ninjas, Lee Hashin didn't hesitate, opting for dense carpet bombing. Do you like stealth, sneak attacks? Think the thick mist can let you sneak in undetected? Lee Hashin didn't plan on playing hide-and-seek with them. With 100 tanks and unlimited ammo, Lee Hashin could cover every inch of the blue camp with firepower. He plowed the ground with artillery. Given the ninjas' fragile defenses, Lee Hashin was confident they couldn't withstand such intense fire coverage. Contact would mean certain death or injury. The relentless explosions resounded from the Sakura country's side, interspersed with the miserable cries and shock-stricken shouts of the Hidden Mist Village ninjas. He's really a mechanic. With this fire density, his superpower weapon is fully developed. Baka. He must be a secret weapon cultivated by some superfamily in the East Dragon Empire to their full extent. Save me. Ah. Chapter 54, even gathered the monsters without bothering. The barrage of the tank array continued endlessly for a whole minute. In this minute, each heavy tank fired dozens of shells. 100 tanks, thousands of shells in total. The blue camp was instantly blasted into ruins by Lee Hashin. And those Sakura country ninjas couldn't even leave a complete bone behind. Within 2 minutes of the start, the Sakura Country camp was annihilated. Outside, in the instance hall. After the camp battle dungeon resumed, everyone stared unblinkingly at the notice board's battle updates. Kobe Kenjin's eyes were bloodshot, his gaze shifting between the camp map and the names of those Sakura Country ninjas. There's only one opponent, 50 elite from Hidden Mist Village, using fog concealment technique to cover the map and execute an assassination. They should be able to kill him. Right? He muttered through gritted teeth. However, 10 seconds later, the name of a Huzuki clan ninja from Sakura Country suddenly turned gray. Kobe Kenjin's pupils shrank. Has the assassination started this quickly? Is the opponent so strong? Instantly counter-killing a Huzuki clan ninja. But then, unbelievably, Kobe Kenjin screamed, impossible. How can they be so strong? The participants of the blue camp began dying one by one, with astonishing speed. The names on the notice board spread like a plague, turning gray one by one. Damn. This battle is too intense. The boss is slaughtering like crazy. What profession is this female boss exactly? She's so fierce. I remember the Hozuki and Hoshigaki clans of Sakura Country. They are from Hidden Mist Village. This was a group ambush that got countered? I guess the female boss is a summoner. Such killing speed doesn't seem like something a single professional could achieve. Hey, you might be right. Ah, big sister, I don't want to work hard anymore. Let me be your summon beast. 1 minute later, the Sakura Country camp was annihilated again. The declaration in the camp battle dungeon changed once more. The hide-and-seek warriors are just so fragile. In the Freedom Federation, Parker Williams looked serious, and James and Bruno were silent. Too fast, she kills way too fast. Even if Sakura Country's ninjas have low defense, they shouldn't be this weak, right? Just 1 minute and she killed all 50 enemies, that's simply outrageous. James and Bruno muttered in disbelief. Parker Williams said gloomily, have you found any clues? Who is this woman? Why didn't we have any information about her before? James and Bruno exchanged glances, helplessly shaking their heads. Haven't found out anything yet. Parker Williams' face darkened with anger. What exactly is the intelligence department doing? With this woman's combat power, she should be classified as a B-level danger, and they have no idea she even exists. In Sakura Country, Heavenly Light Guild. Kobe Kenjin had smashed the entire office to pieces, roaring like a raging beast. Baka. Useless. All useless. 50 assassins, using fog concealment technique for a stealth attack, and they still couldn't kill one person. All these years, has Hidden Mist Village been slacking off on training? In a corner of the office, the head of the Huzuki family, Huzuki Uaya, and the head of the Hoshigaki family, Hoshigaki Kikaku, stood straight, bowing deeply. Yes, guild leader, we never dare to neglect training. Such a situation occurring probably means the opponent's combat power is too overwhelming. Huzuki Uaya's eyes were full of pain, he said through gritted teeth. Hoshigaki Kikaku also looked equally pained. Yes, clan leader, the opponent must be like the young master, not only possessing a powerful illusion god profession but also having some special powerful equipment, otherwise, they couldn't have killed so many of our elite so quickly. For Huzuki Uaya and Hoshigaki Kikaku, those who died were 25 elite members of their respective families. Given more time, they could have all been outstanding disciples, reaching level 50 and above. But now, these promising disciples were wiped out within a minute or two, only to be called useless by Kobe Kenjin. If not for Kobe Kenjin's status, they would have retorted on the spot. If our sons are useless, then what about your son? Even Kobe Ichiro had gathered a legendary set exclusive to Onmyoji, and yet he was also killed completely in minutes. And still dared to claim to be Sakura Country's #1 of the younger generation? Isn't he just as useless? Kobe Kenjin finally finished venting, panting heavily, staring at the two family heads. After a while, he said with a dark face, "All right, you two go out and call Fujino Animaru in." Upon hearing Kobe Kenjin's words, Huzuki Uaya and Hoshigaki Kikaku immediately breathed a sigh of relief, exchanged a sneaky glance, bowed and said, "Yes, guild leader." Fujino Animaru was the head of the martial department in the Heavenly Light Guild. It seems Kobe Kenjin, seeing that the ninja assassination was ineffective, planned to use the martial department for a frontal fight this time. In the East Dragon Empire's instance hall, everyone was still immersed in the astonishing feat of the female boss swiftly taking out 50 ninjas, discussing excitedly. Suddenly, a voice exclaimed with glee, look, those Japs are coming to give us kills again, haha. Haha, let me see, did they bring more ninjas? Is it from Woodleaf Village or Earth Hidden Village? Oh, Fujino family? Haha, the ninja department chickened out, and they're sending in the martial department now. These Japs are quite bold, daring to face the female boss head-on. It's starting, seriously exciting, hee hee. Teleported into the battlefield again, Lee Hashan, through God's eye view, took in everything on the other side. Lee Hashan looked surprised at the group of muscular men emerging from the high ground on the other side, exclaiming, "This time they're all samurai." Next moment, these men gathered together, loudly yelling and charging down the middle with great momentum, looking like they were ready for a brawl. Lee Hashan couldn't help but chuckle. "Want to take me head-on? Then I love it. My tanks have been itching for action, hee hee." In an instant, a dense army of tanks appeared before Lee Hashan, terrifying gun barrels simultaneously lifting and aiming at the charging group. A fierce light flashed in Lee Hashan's eyes, chuckling, "This is too kind. Sakura country is really considerate, saving me the trouble of gathering them." Boom 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 boom. Intense flames suddenly rose from the red side high ground, blasting towards the opponent. Chapter 55, So What If There Are Many People? Kobe Kinjin stared intently at the information on the notice board, his eyes bloodshot, muttering through gritted teeth, "If that damn woman is really a summoner, then even if she's above level 50, the number of her summoned beasts shouldn't exceed 20. With the bravery and strength of our Sakura country samurai, we can definitely take on her 20 summoned beasts head-on. This time, we can surely." Before Kobe Kinjin could finish his sentence, it was as if he was suddenly choked, his voice abruptly stopped. His mouth involuntarily gaped open, his pupils trembled violently, and he couldn't utter a word from his throat for a while. Because he suddenly saw that the names of the 50 samurai from Sakura country were rapidly turning gray again. How could this be? Kobe Kinjin's voice even changed a bit. What terrified him even more was that this time, the speed of death was even faster than last time. Swish swish swish, it was literally like mowing down chives. And in the dungeon hall of the East Dragon Empire, all kinds of deafening screams and exclamations rang out simultaneously. My god. The lady boss is seeing red. Awesome. Damn awesome. Those Japanese bastards dared to provoke the East Dragon, they deserve to be killed like this. Eradicate every flea on them. This combat power is insanely terrifying. Could this lady boss be a new professional class emerging from our East Dragon? Even the known illusion god classes can't possibly be this strong. Could it be another bug class like Marshall Lee the Creator? Hiss. So terrifying indeed. In less than a minute, due to the enemy's voluntary gathering, Lee Hashan only needed a few rounds of volleys to blast all 50 big men into meat pulp. After confirming that their camp's camp crystal had absorbed all of the enemy's spiritual power, Lee Hashan satisfactorily exited the King's Valley and returned to the preparation room. Are all the men from Sakura country impotent? Just a bunch of pretty but useless stuff. The string of question marks continued to speak arrogantly. Baka. Baka. Kobe Kinjin was so angry he almost burst a bladder. Beside him, the minister of the Heavenly Light Guild's martial department, Fujino Animaru, also had a dark complexion, filled with anger and immense heartache. He simply couldn't understand, these were 50 elites. How could they die so quickly? What on earth is the opponent's class? Why can they kill them like slaughtering dogs? The minister of the Yin-Yang department, Abe Hyuga, looked at Fujino Animaru's pained expression, a trace of schadenfreude flashing in his eyes. The three major divisions of the Heavenly Light Guild often compete in secret, especially between the Yin-Yang department and the martial department. Because people from the Yin-Yang department like to mock the martial department as brutes, with strong limbs and simple minds. Meanwhile, the people from the martial department mock the Yin-Yang department as sissies, only good at raising pets and secretly engaging in bestiality, ruining the atmosphere of Sakura country with their garbage. For instance, there was once a non-Myoji who filmed a little movie with the half-human, half-snake Kaheim, which accidentally got leaked, causing quite a stir back then. For these reasons, the people from the Yin-Yang department and the martial department have never gotten along. Moreover, the current minister of the Yin-Yang department, Abe Hyuga, is rumored to climb mountains on people's backs, keeping many strong male lovers in private, which makes today's martial department minister Fujino Animaru disdainful. So, seeing such great losses in the martial and ninja departments, Abe Hyuga naturally takes pleasure in it. However, the minister of the ninja department, Senju Hima, immediately noticed Abe Hyuga's impure intentions, face darkening as he suddenly spoke. "Minister, I've suddenly got an idea." Abe Hyuga's heart skipped a beat. Kobe Kinjin said with a grim face, "Speak." Reporting to the president, "I believe that the opponent's combat power is extraordinarily strong, evidently unusual. And this time, they killed even faster than last time, indicating that the opponent is not afraid of group battles, and maybe even very good at them. If that opponent is indeed a summoner, then the number of her summoned beasts might far exceed 20, maybe she's like the young master and also gathered a powerful exclusive class set. Moreover, even if the opponent is not a summoner but a beast tamer or a mechanic, the beasts she tames and her superpower weapons couldn't possibly be used indefinitely. After defeating our best from the ninja and martial departments, even though the camp battle dungeon can reset her spiritual power value, her mental and ability consumption must be considerable. In that case, if we deploy 50 elite Onmyoji to suppress her group battle prowess with numbers, we might be able to defeat that mysterious woman. Abe Hydea's eyes widened, glaring fiercely at Senju, silently cursing, "Baka! Senju, you sneaky bastard! You've got guts!" Senju glanced at Abe Hydea as if saying, "If we're going down together. Don't think you can sit this one out." Kobe Kinjin's eyes flickered as if pondering Senju words. Finally, after a long time, he made a decision, saying grimly, "All right. Hydea, immediately gather 50 Onmyoji who have contracted at least 3 Shikigami, and send them in to kill him. In a gang fight, when have our Sakura country's Onmyoji ever been afraid?" Abe Hydea's vision went dark, almost collapsing to the ground. "Damn you, Senju. Onmyoji who have contracted more than 3 Shikigami, those are truly the elites of the elite. Even Kobe Ichiro, who's said to be the strongest of Sakura country's younger generation, has only contracted 5. You damn greedy black scoundrel." But seeing the ghostly flame burning in Kobe Kenjin's eyes, Abe Hydea opened his mouth several times but didn't dare refuse. "The president is still grieving his son's death. If I dare refuse, there's no doubt I'll suffer." He glared at Senju and the snickering Fujino Animaru, then went to carry out the order. "Hi, President." Lee Hashin, having finished taunting, sat idly in the preparation room, dazed. Suddenly, the teleportation array of the blue camp lit up again. New people had entered. Lee Hashin was slightly startled, and then got up with curiosity to look at the names of those who had just arrived. Mikami Yuyua, Sora Aoi, Takizawa Laura, Asawa Maria. Seems like they're all on Myoji? Are they trying to gang up on me? Lee Hashin mumbled. "Hey, these cucumbers from Sakura country sure make a fierce entrance." A glint of ferocity flashed in Lee Hashin's eyes. "Interesting, thinking numbers make you strong? What a pity, I've got more cannons. And with ample firepower, I can blast you off your feet in minutes." Chapter 56 Famous Onmyoji of Sakura Country. The outside world, the instance hall of the East Dragon Empire. Haha, look, Sakura Country has brought in more people again. Oh? Sakura Country is really bold. Let me see, who did they bring this time? Whoa. Isn't that Sakura Country's famous teacher Sawa? Oh, it really is. I heard she's a renowned teacher at some college in Sakura Country. I encountered her in the slaughter dungeon last time. TSK, I'm telling you, don't be fooled by teacher Sawa's gentle appearance. Her combat experience is extremely rich. Many professionals in Sakura Country are no match for her, unable to last even 3 minutes before surrendering. Damn, it seems Sakura Country is really pissed this time. They're even bringing in those well-known Onmyoji. TSK, indeed, I've heard of this Takizawa Maria too. She seems to be mixed race, with very strong combat skills. In the Heavenly Light Guild, Kobe Kenjin stared intently at the bulletin board and said viciously, "This time, I don't believe she can withstand it." 50 Onmyoji, each with more than 3 Shikigami, including the Onmyoji themselves, the total number exceeds 200. With so much power advancing in full force, even if she's a professional adept at group battles, she's doomed without a doubt. Seeing the battle request from the blue side, Lee Hashin chuckled coldly and clicked agree. As the vision in front of him rippled, he appeared once again in the King's Valley. Upon appearing, Lee Hashin quickly unveiled the God's Eye view, casting vision over the entire King's Valley. Simultaneously, the blue side faction appeared, a group of Onmyoji clad in mage robes. Then, following their pre-devised strategy, these Onmyoji promptly released their Shikigami. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of bizarre-looking Shikigami appeared in Lee Hashin's sight. Under the Onmyoji's control, these Shikigami swarmed and scattered like a plague of locusts towards the red side. Lee Hashin, after brief contemplation, quickly summoned 50 tanks. Simultaneously, over 100 Gatling machine guns lined up thickly on the high ground. This time, the number of enemies significantly exceeded that of the previous 2 confrontations. With over 200 enemies, even summoning 100 tanks, it's hard to cover the entire King's Valley without any gaps. Moreover, many of the enemies' Shikigami have special abilities that aren't easily killed within a short time. This battle is likely to be prolonged. And if he summons too many superpower weapons causing excessive depletion of his spiritual power value, it may give the enemy Onmyoji an opportunity, leading to an unexpected defeat. Therefore, for his safety, Lee Hashin decided that using tanks in coordination with the Gatling machine guns would be more effective. Tanks can execute ultra-long-range strikes covering the entire map. If the enemy really gets close to his high ground, the 100 Gatling machine guns will compensate for mid to close-range firepower. Although the Gatling gun's power isn't as great as rocket cannons, when facing a large number of enemies, the Gatling's high fire rate and dense coverage are more practical. Moreover, Lee Hashin even summoned his exoskeleton armor this time, equipping it on himself. Even though he has the mechanical substitute to save his life, maintaining combat awareness is essential. After summoning enough superpower weapons, Lee Hashin followed his standard practice, sending 10 tanks each to bombard the enemy's red and blue elite monsters, securing the red and blue buffs first. Then, the 50 tanks began to fire with full force. On the opposite side, led by renowned onmyoji like Mikami Yuya and others from Sakura country, they quickly advanced towards the red side under the cover of their Shikigami. However, they hadn't advanced far when 2 intense fire flashes accompanied by explosions ignited in the red side's camp. Mikami Yuya paused slightly, a soft and sticky voice heavy with seriousness. Such a strong bombardment. It can reach this far, the opponent must be a mechanic. Takizawa Maria, with an assertive voice, wondered, strange, aren't most mechanics in the East Dragon Empire male? How could such a strong female mechanic suddenly emerge? Mikami Yuya shook her head slightly, not sure, maybe someone secretly nurtured by a major family. Upon confirming the opponent's profession, adjacent to them, Kobayataro speculated, does that mean the reason she could neutralize so many of us, including me, so quickly was because she accumulated a number of superpower weapons far exceeding the typical level 50 professional? Takizawa Laura nodded slightly, feeling a bit relieved. That's probably the reason, but she's already fought 2 previous confrontations, so even if she has an astonishing number of superpower weapons, her ammo supply should be nearly exhausted by now. We have so many people, it should be enough to exhaust her firepower and eventually take her down. Knowing that the opponent is a mechanic, the leading onmyoji's pressure diminished significantly. The unknown is what instills the most fear. Before entering, they were most concerned about whether that mysterious powerhouse from East Dragon would awaken like Mr. Lee, to some unprecedented yet godlike power. However, if it's a known profession, they had prepared various plans before entering. For example, mechanics, though possessing powerful attacks, do not have an endless supply of spatial equipment below level 50. The number of superpower weapons he can carry was beyond Sakura country's expectations. And with the ammunition for these weapons, after 2 battles, there shouldn't be much left. The female mechanic on the other side definitely didn't expect Sakura country to gather so many onmyoji to overwhelm with numbers. Furthermore, they're all elites among elites, all of them contracted with at least 3 Shikigami. In the view of Mikami Yuya and the others, as long as they stick to their preset tactics, defeating the opponent shouldn't be problematic. After all, these 50 are Sakura country's mightiest onmyoji. Boom, 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 boom. Having secured the red and blue buffs, Lee Hashin, through observation with the god's eye view, ordered the 50 tanks to begin bombing fiercely. A dense barrage of tank shells exploded throughout the King's Valley. Faced with Lee Hashin's unreasonable bombardment, Sakura country's onmyoji could only curse angrily while desperately seeking gaps in the barrage, rushing towards the red side. Outside, everyone watched the camp battle dungeon with wide eyes, particularly focused on the names of Sakura country's onmyoji. As expected, this female powerhouse lived up to everyone's expectations. It wasn't long before Sakura country's members started quickly dying, their names turning gray one by one. However, unlike before, the speed at which Sakura country fell this time was noticeably slower. Chapter 57, Sudden Attack and Counter Ambush. Kobe Kinjin was also staring intently at the big screen. When he saw those onmyoji also starting to perish, his heart sank. Meanwhile, the minister of the Yin-Yang department, Abe Hidea, wore a gloomy expression, feeling excruciating pain. These are the elite among elites of their Yin-Yang department. But soon after, Kobe Kenjin noticed that this time, the rate of deaths on the Sakura countryside was significantly slower than before. At least, up to now, there were still more than 20 of them alive. Although the losses were still heavy, it was much better than being completely annihilated in an instant like the last round. For them, this meant there was a chance. The warriors of Sakura country never feared death for victory. Within the instance, Osawa Maria and others clenched their teeth, finally breaking through under the cover of the Shikigami to nearly approach the enemy high ground. At this moment, Osawa Akira looked somewhat disheveled, her fair skin stained with patches of black, seemingly having been bombarded by Lee Hashin's artillery fire. Mikami Yuyua's eyes were filled with terror, still shaken. She said, "What a terrifying firepower coverage. How much ammunition does that guy have? Why does it seem endless?" Takizawa Laura was also somewhat frightened. Yeah, no wonder she could kill so many of us so quickly in previous confrontations. This firepower is just too terrifying. Even though our Shikigami include types with strong defense, one careless move could end us. The stronger the talent of an onmyoji from Sakura country, the more Shikigami they could summon. And the onmyoji selected by Kobe Kinjin this time were at least elites contracted with 3 Shikigami. Due to the inherent frailty of the yin-yang aspect, these onmyoji who could contract multiple Shikigami would choose at least one defensively inclined Shikigami for better self-protection in battle. It was precisely for this reason that Lee Hashin's artillery fire coverage could not completely wipe out the opponents, allowing these onmyoji to push into the high ground area. Ozara Akira said grimly, "The opponent is indeed very strong, but the mechanic excels at mid to long range coverage attacks. Once we get close, with our current numbers, it's enough to kill him." The other onmyoji also showed a sinister look, heavily said, "Hold on a little longer, we're almost at the high ground." Through God's eye view, Lee Hashin saw everyone's actions, watching them push through the bombardment stubbornly to this side, yet he showed no worry at all. He let out a cold laugh, controlling hundreds of Gatling machine guns hidden behind the tanks, continuing the bombardment in an orderly fashion. With a whoosh, a Shikigami resembling a mantis man suddenly burst out of the shrubbery and charged towards the high ground. Then, various strange Shikigami sprang out from the shrubbery one after another, followed closely by the onmyoji emerging as well. They broke through Lee Hashin's firepower blockade, finally reaching the high ground. Ozara Akira and several leaders also rushed out. Osawa Maria quickly surveyed the surrounding area, discovering they still had about 20 onmyoji left, with 40 or 50 Shikigami remaining. Mikami Yuyu looked at the densely arrayed tanks on the red side high ground, his pupils slightly contracted. So it's heavy tanks. This number, there must be at least 40 to 50 of them. No wonder the firepower is so dense. Ozara Akira said in a deep voice, "Tanks can't move flexibly at close range, the firing speed won't keep up with us. Dismantle the tower first, then charge on to the high ground and kill that mechanic." Soda Ijun. Seeing the enemy base within reach, the fear in the hearts of the other onmyoji slightly retreated, replaced by endless viciousness and killing intent. Boom 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 boom. These dozens of onmyoji immediately began to frantically attack the defense towers, while dodging the 50 tanks at the front of the position. A minute later, the 3 defense towers on the high ground simultaneously collapsed, the last defense finally destroyed by the desperate attack of these onmyoji. But the number of onmyoji was again halved, leaving only about 10. Ozara Akira was right, tanks indeed can't move or adjust their barrels quickly at close range. But there were just too many tanks on Lee Hashin's side. With 50 tanks, even if they simply stayed in place and engaged in crossfire, they posed a tremendous threat to those onmyoji attacking the defense towers. Seeing the 3 defense towers finally destroyed, Ozara Akira's eyes flashed with determination, and he shouted, "Everyone charge the high ground and kill that mechanic. Jump over the top of the tanks. The tank barrels can't cover above. Kill." These onmyoji had already seen the person in mechanical armor behind the high ground, their eyes red as they charged forth. Watching these mechanics charge up, Lee Hashin's lips curved into a subtle smile. With a thought, the 100 Gatling machine guns hidden behind the tanks suddenly floated up, their dark muzzles aimed at the midair. In Ozara Akira's startled eyes, they all fired at once. Ratatatata. The dense bara covered all the advancing onmyoji. Takizawa Laura screamed in despair, "Ah! She has superpower weapons. Save me." However, no one could save her. Because the other onmyoji were also caught off guard by Lee Hashin's underhanded move, each screaming and figuring out ways to save themselves. This development, they did not anticipate at all. Because in their understanding, a heavy tank is a superpower weapon that occupies a lot of space, coupled with the accompanying ammunition. Having this many was already unbelievable for Lee Hashin. Under such circumstances, even if Lee Hashin had other superpower weapons, it was impossible to form a numerical crush, but unexpectedly, Lee Hashin had hidden over 100 Gatling machine guns. In the dense and furious barrage, the remaining onmyoji began to die again. Osawa Maria screamed in anger as she hid inside the belly of her defensive Shikigami, Iron Bucket Demon, trying to endure Lee Hashin's sneak attack. She yelled furiously, "Hold on! Use the defensive Shikigami to hold on. The Gatling ammunition only has 150 rounds, as long as we endure this wave, she won't have time to reload, and we can counter-kill her." However, half a minute later, the intense firepower showed no sign of weakening, still frantically ratatatata. Osawa Maria's eyes widened in disbelief and screamed absurdly, "Impossible! With Gatling machine guns' rate of fire, the bullets should have run out long ago, why are you still shooting?" Lee Hashin hid behind the high ground, chuckling evilly, "Because I've got stamina, unlike those second-rate guys from Sakura country who can't last even 30 seconds without shuddering." Hearing Lee Hashin's mocking voice, Osawa Maria, Ozara Akira, and other famous onmyoji were momentarily stunned and exclaimed in astonishment, "You're not a woman, you're a man?" Chapter 58, Golden Battle Order. Immediately, Ali Sola linked the recent Prohibition Order of the East Dragon and exclaimed, "The previous Prohibition Order of the East Dragon Empire was because of you. Your superpower weapon has no ammunition limit. You deliberately pretend to be a woman to confuse others' attention." Li Hashan glanced at her in surprise and said with some appreciation, as expected of the famous Ali teacher from Sakura country, "At least you have some brains. It's just a pity that this is a camp battle dungeon. Even if you know this secret, don't dream of having a chance to spread it." Clack, clack, clack. 50 tanks in front of the position began to turn their artillery, targeting the remaining few onmyoji. "No. I beg you to spare my life. I am willing to swear allegiance to you and will never expose your secret." Ali Sola screamed. Li Hashan looked at her coldly and gently shook his head. "People from Sakura country, I don't trust a single one. Meet your end." Boom. The artillery fired in unison, engulfing the few. Looking at the broken limbs and flesh on the ground, after confirming that the opponents were all dead, Li Hashan moved his mind and dispersed the superpower weapon. Outside, the instance hall of East Dragon became lively once more. "The lady boss is badass." Voice crack, "Damn. What exactly is the lady boss's profession? She is too strong." Those were 50 onmyoji, along with Shikigami, totaling over 100, and the lady boss wiped them all out. More than 100. Ali Sola, Mikami Yuyua, these onmyoji are well-known elites in Sakura country. I might not know all the other onmyoji, but I've heard of most of them. If I'm not mistaken, these onmyoji are probably all elites from the yin-yang department, each with more than 3 Shikigami. Hiss. With more than 3 Shikigami each? If that's true, wouldn't those 50 onmyoji total over 200? Man. At this number, forget about a summoner, even a mechanic can't handle it. Yeah, the lady boss has already fought several battles before, below level 50, with balance in level and equipment. She couldn't possibly carry so much ammunition. What exactly is her profession? In the Freedom Federation, the president of the Yuan God Guild, Parker Williams, looked grave with a visible hint of dread in his eyes. He said sternly to James and Bruno, "Spread the word, classify this mysterious woman from East Dragon Empire as an A-level dangerous person, and offer a substantial bounty for her detailed information." James and Bruno exchanged a look and nodded solemnly. "Yes, President." Parker said gloomy, 50 onmyoji, with a total exceeding 200. She managed to kill them all in such a short time. The terrifying combat power, not just invincible at the same level, even cross-level, she can be deemed invincible. Even the former Mr. Lee might be inferior to her in terms of attack power. If she is already over level 50 now, participating in the camp battle dungeon after level and equipment balancing, her full combat power is probably enough to handle a level 60 professional. And if she truly grows in the future, she will definitely be a serious threat to us. Meanwhile, at the Heavenly Light Guild headquarters, Kobe Kinjin and the 3 department heads of the Yin-Yang Department, Martial Department, and Ninja Department were equally grim-faced. Even Kobe Kinjin had to temporarily set aside the death of his beloved son in his mind and focus all his thinking capacity on this mysterious woman. 50 elite onmyoji, aided by more than 150 various Shikigami, yet they were still wiped out by her. What does this imply? It implies that woman's potential can fully compare to Mr. Lee, or even surpass. Back then, for hiding himself, Mr. Lee of the East Dragon Empire stayed hidden until level 70 before appearing before everyone. At that time, Mr. Lee was already strong enough that almost no one could kill him. The countries of the world, even if they saw Mr. Lee as a thorn in their side, it was too late. But this mysterious woman is different. Her potential is equally amazing, yet she's exposed much earlier than Mr. Lee. If no steps are taken to kill her now, when she truly grows up in the future, she could be another terrifying professional crushing the illusion god. For Sakura country, which neighbors East Dragon, if East Dragon really produces 2 super professionals like Mr. Lee, it would be a disaster. Various thoughts flashed through Kobe Kinjin's mind, and finally, he seemed to make a decision, saying deeply, "We can't let her continue to grow. This kind of threat must be nipped in the bud. Otherwise, the consequences are unthinkable." Seeing the terrifying potential of that woman, this has even escalated to a national-level crisis. At this time, even the usually conflicting 3 department heads didn't dare to engage in internal strife and instead stood united against outsiders. The Yin-Yang Department Director, Abe Hydia, said gravely, "But the problem is, East Dragon is closed off now, we can't even get in. Moreover, even if we can find a way to send high-level ninjas into East Dragon to assassinate her, we don't even know her identity." Senmo Kohima was also solemn-faced. "That's right, we attempted to assassinate that mechanic from East Dragon last time. This time, East Dragon will surely take extremely stringent precautions against us. Even if we send ninjas again, success is unlikely." Fujino Animaru was momentarily silent, eyes flashing with killing intent. "Then what do we do?" Just let her grow unchecked? She has been hidden in East Dragon for such a long time. It wasn't until this camp battle dungeon provoked her that we even became aware of her existence. This means, even if she enters other instances later, she'll definitely hide herself, making it hard for outsiders to detect. If we miss this camp battle dungeon opportunity, it'll be even harder to track her down. Hyuga's face darkened, but even if we want to resolve her in the camp battle dungeon, with the combat power she's shown, below level 50, there's no one who can defeat her. At this moment, Kobe Kinjin suddenly spoke up, no. There's still an opportunity. Level 50 professionals won't do, but what about level 70? Level 70? The three heads were all stunned. Then, it was Senmo Kohima who first reacted, eyes flashing with joy, excitedly said, President, you mean? Use that? Kobe Kinjin nodded heavily, yes. The Golden Battle Order. Hyuga and Fujino Animaru's bodies shook, remembering that the Heavenly Light Guild still had 3 Golden Battle Orders in reserve. With these things, they can send 3 professionals above level 70 into the camp battle dungeon. Although there would still be level and equipment suppression, the Golden Battle Order allows these 3 professionals one chance to go all out. Chapter 59, The 3 Ministers Make Their Entrance. To know, this is a level 70 professional, under the original equipment and level enhancement, it's truly a full power strike. But the camp battle dungeon suppresses the opponent's level and equipment all below level 50. If the person using the Golden Battle Order is a level 79 professional, the gap between the two sides is almost equivalent to spanning a whole 30 levels. This level gap, combined with the equipment enhancement, is practically a dimensionality reduction strike, fully capable of achieving a one-hit kill. Moreover, the Heavenly Light Guild's treasured Golden Battle Orders total not just 1, but 3. The existence of these 3 Golden Battle Orders is known only to Kobe Kinjin and the 3 major ministers. Even other high-level members of the Heavenly Light Guild don't know. This also means that the East Dragon Empire likewise doesn't know. If they use 3 Golden Battle Orders to dispatch 3 professionals above level 70 to intercept that woman, the East Dragon Empire could not possibly anticipate it. At that time, these 3 people suddenly unleash a full power strike, absolutely can instantly kill that woman. Thinking of this, Senmo Kohima hurriedly asked, President, who should we send in? Kobe Kinjin said nothing, his gaze fixed intently on the 3 major ministers. Hyuga stiffened and hesitantly said, Us, we? Kobe Kinjin nodded naturally, eyes gleaming. Since we're even using the Golden Battle Orders, of course we must ensure 100% success. And among all our level 70 professionals in the Heavenly Light Guild, you 3 ministers, both in terms of level and equipment, are the most top-notch. Sending you personally is the most reliable. But. Hyuga hesitated. Kobe Kinjin's face darkened, staring at him. What? Do you mean the 3 of you leading the team, plus the Golden Battle Order, can't even deal with a woman whose level is suppressed? Hyuga muttered inwardly, of course, you're not the one going, so you're not worried. But he also knew, not to mention that Kobe Kinjin is a level 81 professional and can't use the Golden Battle Order. Even if he could use it, with his old guy's caution, he certainly wouldn't make a move personally. Struggling for a long time, Hyuga could only grit his teeth and say, Hi. We will definitely kill that woman and remove this future major threat for Sakura country. Kobe Kinjin seemed to perceive Hyuga's hesitation, his expression softened, patting Hyuga's shoulder, rest assured, you're level 74, and have 7 Shinigami protecting you. Fujino and Senmoku are both level 75 professionals, and you're fully equipped with epic gear. With your team leading, that woman will surely die without a doubt. Besides, although that woman's combat strength is strong, it's not really invincible. Before, when she was dealing with those 50 Onmyoji, her speed was noticeably slower. I speculate that after so many consecutive battles with our Sakura country's warriors, her state is probably starting to decline as well. This time you personally taking action will surely kill that woman. Saying this, Kobe Kinjin paused slightly, enticingly added, besides, this time you won't be without any gains. Don't forget, the camps have been charging for so long, both East Dragon and our country's professionals contributing hundreds of lives, and they're all of elite level. I estimate that after you kill that woman, the aura produced by this camp battle dungeon will probably be very strong. If you can get an aura just suitable for yourself, it would be a huge gain. Hearing this, Hyuga's eyes lit up. Yes. Almost forgot about the aura. This time, the camp charging lasted so long, the aura attribute produced would most likely be excellent. Fujino Animaru and Senmo Kohima exchanged a glance, a trace of heat also flashed in their eyes. Aura, this special equipment, is rare because of the special conditions of its production. Most professionals don't have it, not even the 3 ministers themselves. Kobe Kinjin did manage to get one in the past, but its attributes were just average. If they can handle that woman this time, The aura produced by this camp battle dungeon would definitely not be poor. Hi. Guaranteed to complete the mission. Hi. Long live Sakura. Fujino Animaru and Senmo Kohima said loudly. Kobe Kinjin nodded slightly, a look of hatred in his eyes, said, since we're even using the golden battle order, we must ensure nothing goes wrong. Choose 47 level 59 elite professionals from the 3 major departments to balance levels and equipment with you to enter together. This time, that East Dragon woman must die. Hi. The 3 major ministers turned to leave, feeling a burning determination in their hearts. Meanwhile, countries around the world were paying attention to this Sakura Country vs East Dragon Empire camp battle dungeon. When they saw the 50 onmyoji dispatched by Sakura Country being completely wiped out by that mysterious woman from the East Dragon Empire, they exclaimed in amazement while feeling a bit schadenfreude. Hey, Sakura Country really fell hard this time. Even the young president of Heavenly Light was slain by East Dragon, such a disgrace. Ha, serves them right for provoking East Dragon, this is called digging their own grave. Exactly, all these years, although the new generations of professionals in East Dragon Empire seem mediocre, suffering many losses in various instances, the foundation of East Dragon Empire is still there. Even the Freedom Federation is wary, and Sakura Country, such a small place, really thought they could confront them head-on? It's like a blind man walking to the toilet, looking for crap. The instance hall of the East Dragon Empire was also full of discussions. Hey, do you think Sakura Country chickened out? Why has there been no movement for so long? Surely they were scared by the lady boss, TSK. Those were 50 elite onmyoji, wiped out clean in just a few minutes. Exactly, in a camp battle dungeon below level 50 in that tiny place like Sakura Country, those 50 onmyoji should be their strongest force. If they can't handle the lady boss, I don't believe they have any other tricks. Hey, right. Look, Sakura Country's sending people again. Ah. Damn, are they really this stubborn, dare to come again? Let me see who it is this time. Hey, what's this situation? Why are they also hiding their names? Damn, could it be that Sakura Country also has hidden demon-level experts like the lady boss, afraid of us targeting them if we know? Hey, your brain got fried? Sakura Country hiding all 50 people's names, such a small region, they could have so many demon-level experts. I think it's just a bluff to scare the lady boss. Exactly, this must be Sakura Country bluffing. Quick, the confrontation is starting. Chapter 60, Hatred pulled to the ancestral tomb. At this moment, everyone noticed a new change. Huh? Why are the names of the participants from Sakura Country showing up again? Weird, what is Sakura Country up to now? Let me see who they are, Abe Hidia, Fujino Animaru, Senmo Kohima. Why do these names sound so familiar? Hiss. Damn. Aren't these the heads of the 3 major branches of the Heavenly Light Guild? How did they get in? Damn. It really seems so. But this is not right. The camp battle dungeon for those below level 50, even with level and equipment balance, at most only professionals a little above 50 can participate, those at level 60 can't even enter. I remember the heads of the 3 major branches of Heavenly Light are all professionals above level 70, how did they get in? In the secret passage of the Kingwa Academy's instance hall, Zhang Zhen, Ling Xuan, and Wang Qingfeng were also shocked. Wang Qingfeng said gravely, I didn't expect that Sakura Country would secretly keep 3 golden battle orders. Zhang Zhen was slightly surprised too, feeling a little worried inside. Abe Hidia is a level 74 onmyoji. His Shikigami 7 companions are both offensive and defensive with special abilities and not low in level. He's really tough to deal with. Fujino Animaru's 3-sword style is extremely sharp, and Senmo Kohima is known as a master of ninjutsu, proficient in various advanced ninjutsu. These 3 guys are no pushovers, little junior brother he. Ling Xuan frowned slightly and said in a grim tone, the heads of the 3 major branches of Heavenly Light are all top-level professionals at level 70, even if I face them alone, I can only manage at most a 1 against 2, they're indeed troublesome. However, even if they manage to enter the camp battle dungeon with the golden battle orders, under the suppression of level and equipment balance, their biggest advantages are just the basic attributes and the number of skills, along with that 1 chance for a full-scale attack. But little junior brother has those freakish exclusive talents. With such an overwhelming firepower coverage, their basic attributes and skills don't give them much advantage at all. The biggest threat to little junior brother is still that 1 full-scale attack. Ling Xuan paused for a moment, her eyes flashing with a cold light, but unfortunately, little junior brother's newly awakened mechanical substitute has no usage limit. Together, they only have 3 full-scale attacks in total, but even if they can kill little junior brother 3 times, it means nothing in front of the many superpower weapons of little junior brother. Ling Xuan's eyes suddenly flashed with excitement, and she mocked, hey, offering 3 heads at once, This time Sakura Country is bound to lose more than they gain. In the camp battle dungeon, as soon as Lee Hashin was teleported out, he immediately unfolded God's Eye View, encompassing the entire canyon. This time, Sakura Country's people suddenly hid everyone's names, which also raised a bit of caution in Lee Hashin's heart. However, he was immediately taken aback, because he suddenly saw that those guys opposite actually revealed their names again. Abe Hydia, Fujino Animaru, Senmo Kohima. Lee Hashin's eyes immediately showed a serious look, even feeling a bit incredulous. Hiss. The heads of the three major branches of the Sakura Country's Heavenly Light Guild? He looked speechless. Come on, was it necessary? Just because I killed your 200 people, you're resorting to personally stepping in? Golden battle orders? I didn't expect Sakura Country to have hidden such a good thing. Lucky for me I used to be a top student, otherwise, the average person wouldn't even know about this thing. While observing, Lee Hashin raised his eyebrows. Oh wow, Sakura Country really thinks highly of me. Even these remaining people seem to have better basic attributes than the previous professionals. Is that Haruno Hainabusa? And Uzumaki Akihito, Akaya Sasuke? TSK, all well-known experts of the 50-level tier in Sakura Country. Goodness, did they find all mid-level elite professionals over 50 level for this wave? Hey, my hatred must have really dug into their ancestral graves. After confirming the identity of the opponents, Lee Hashin marveled and quickly pondered in his mind. Then, he still followed the previous tactic, first summoning 50 heavy tanks, arrayed them on the high ground. Then summoned 100 rocket cannons, surrounding the high ground with a circle. But unlike those tanks, Lee Hashin aimed all these rocket cannons inward. After making these preparations, Lee Hashin smiled sinisterly. The game begins. In the blue camp, the three heads had the other subordinates spread out in groups of 3. Samurai at the front, ninja hidden in the shadows, and Onmyoji as spellcasters staying at the back. Then they all spread out fully, advancing toward the red camp. As for an extra Onmyoji, they followed Senmo Kohima to the location of the red elite monster. Fujino Animaru acted as a warrior, temporarily serving as a meat shield for Abe Hydia, heading to the location of the blue elite monster along with Abe Hydia. This was their discussed strategy. The red elite monster can increase attack power by 30%, making it most suitable for the assassin-type Senmo Kohima to acquire to enhance his attack power during sudden kills. The blue elite monster enhances spirit recovery speed by 30%, naturally most suitable for Abe Hydia. Despite the fact that Fujino Animaru usually despises Abe Hydia, this sinister man, at this moment, he clearly understands the gravity of the situation and won't trip Abe Hydia. However, when they moved in different directions, about to approach the area of the red and blue elite monsters, with a boom sound, Lee Hashin fired. He summoned 25 tanks each to simultaneously bombard Abe Hydia and Senmo Kohima. Senmo Kohima, being a master of ninjutsu with a cautious nature, was always alert for sudden happenings along the way. Suddenly, a dreadful sensation descended from the sky. Before the shells even landed, every hair on his body had already stood on end. Without even glancing upward, he unhesitatingly cast the substitute technique. With a soft pop, Senmo Kohima's figure vanished, replaced by a round log. But the Onmyoji accompanying him didn't react as quickly. Boom! Along with a violent explosion, that Onmyoji and the red elite monster were blown to pieces. On Abe Hydia's side, they also sensed Lee Hashin's sudden attack in time. Abe Hydia was horrified, and instinctively summoned Do from the 7 companions to the front, trying to rely on it for defense. But this move didn't bring him any sense of security. As an experienced professional, Abe Hydia could clearly feel that after all his Shikigami's levels were suppressed below 50, his opponent's attack had already exceeded the defensive limit of his Shikigami. Chapter 61, The New Mechanical War God? While making these responses, Abe Hydia's eyes widened in shock, exclaiming, "The opponent is a mechanic." Immediately, he gritted his teeth hard, ready to use the opportunity to strike with all his strength. No choice but to use it. His Shikigami did not possess the kind of substitution or instant teleportation abilities like Senmo Kohima's, so he could only withstand this wave of attack. But at this moment, Fujino Animaru suddenly said in a deep voice, "I'll do it, save the chance to deal with that mechanic." Fujino Animaru had no other choice. As a samurai, his offensive power was undoubtedly strong, but in terms of defense, at most, he was just a tough warrior. Although his ability to withstand attacks was decent, under the circumstance of being suppressed in level and equipment, he absolutely couldn't withstand the concentrated bombardment of Lee Hashin's 25 tank main guns. Unless he could unleash the power of a level 70 professional. But the opportunity to strike with full power was only once. If both he and Abe Hydia used this chance, they would have no trump card against Lee Hashin. So, in facing Lee Hashin's sudden attack, Fujino Animaru could only choose to use that opportunity himself to resolve the crisis, allowing Abe Hydia to conserve his strength. because Abe Hydia's 7 companions Shikigami, when in full burst, not only had a more diverse form of attack but was also more powerful, making it more suitable as a trump card. Speaking, Fujino Animaru instantly drew 3 shimmering katanas, holding 2 in his hands and 1 biting with his mouth. His gaze immediately became as sharp as a hawk's, his hoarse voice murmuring, "Secret skill, 108 Troubles Wind." With a boom, a terrifying wave of energy exploded from Fujino Animaru, transforming into an incredibly sharp whirlwind that surged upward to meet the rapidly descending shells. Clang 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 clang. Boom 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 boom. The sound of metal slicing came from the sky, followed by a continuous string of explosions. Lee Hashin's volley was sliced and intercepted in midair by Fujino Animaru. After unleashing this attack, Fujino Animaru's momentum quickly declined, suppressed back below level 50. With a dark complexion, he shouted loudly, "Everyone attention! The opponent is a mechanic. Don't waste time, advance at full speed, close the distance." Yes. All action groups quickly responded, and the speed of their assault suddenly accelerated, transforming into shadows rushing towards the Red Side's camp. Abe Hydia and Fujino Animaru did the same, advancing forward like lightning without any delays. Simultaneously, they moved in a serpentine pattern, trying their best to avoid being targeted by the enemy. Lee Hashin regretfully shook his head, mumbling, "Even though I couldn't kill one of these 3 guys, I at least wasted Fujino Animaru's full power strike opportunity. But this is also good, if those other 2 guys have no trump cards, they probably wouldn't dare to charge up to the high ground to kill me, and in that case, it's not easy to catch the turtle in my jar." While he was mumbling to himself, 50 tanks continued to fire fiercely, causing significant losses to the enemy's assaulting combat teams. Even though these professionals entered after being balanced in level and equipment as intermediate professionals, without the blessing of the Golden Battle Order, they only held slight advantages in terms of basic attributes and skill quantities. Facing Lee Hashin's unlimited ammo-covering bombardment, there were also not many opportunities to resist, only trying their best to dodge. The only thing they could pray for was that the shells wouldn't land on them. But even so, by the time they charged the Red Side high ground, they had still lost 20 to 30 people. The 3 major department leaders mingled among the crowd, already gathered together. Upon seeing from a distance the dozens of tanks displayed on the high ground, Senmo Kohima's expression instantly turned solemn. "Heavy tanks, and there's a lot of them." Fujino Animaru's eyes revealed a puzzled look. Something is off. Although his number of tanks is considerable, by now, the ammunition in those tanks should have run out. But as we charged over, the frequency of the tank bombardments hasn't changed in the slightest. Does he not need to change magazines? Abe Hydia's eyes showed a thoughtful look, then he exclaimed in shock, "I know why he can kill so many of our professionals so quickly." "What do you mean? What did you think of?" Fujino Animaru and Senmo Kohima immediately turned to look at Abe Hydia. Abe Hydia stared intently at the rows of tanks above, incredulously saying, "I speculate that his tanks may really not need to reload. This mechanic is different from other mechanics. His tanks have unlimited ammo. The reason for East Dragon's national banning order is likely because of him. Old man Mr. Lee must have restarted the Mechanical War God plan. He is the new Mechanical War God." Fujino Animaru and Senmo Kohima's bodies shook completely, their faces full of shock. "Unlimited ammo? New Mechanical War God? Hiss. The East Dragon Empire is hiding a big move, seeing other professionals already starting to assault the high ground defense towers yet struggling to move under the crossfire of those dozens of tanks, bouncing up and down." Senmo Kohima said gravely, "Without ammunition limits, the opponent's crossfire is too dense. This is not a solution. If some more of our people die, even if the 2 of us each have 1 more full power strike opportunity, it might be insecure." Abe Hydia glanced at the battlefield, hesitated only slightly, and gritted his teeth. "The opponent is a mechanic and has unlimited ammo. Trading lives with him isn't worth it. We must break the 3 defense towers on the high ground as quickly as possible, then close the distance to gang upon him. As long as we can charge to his side, with the mechanic's fragile defensive power, a full strike from Hima can take him down in no time." Senmo Kohima's eyes surged with killing intent. "Your 7 companions are proficient in group attacks. You push the towers, and when others besiege him, I will lurk in the shadows for a one-hit kill." Abe Hydia nodded heavily. "That's exactly what I was thinking." Fujino Animaru urged, "Stop talking nonsense, act quickly." In just that moment, he saw another 2 or 3 samurai fall under the crossfire between the defense towers and tanks. Abe Hydia no longer delayed, quickly forming a peculiar hand gesture. Subsequently, a strong aura rose from him as if breaking through confinement. Abe Hydia shouted loudly, "7 kills full moon." Then, 7 Shikigami instantaneously leaped up from around Abe Hydia, merging in midair to form a bloody full moon. As Abe Hydia pointed forward, the bloody moon split into 3, crashing down onto the 3 defense towers on the high ground. Chapter 62. This mechanic is simply invincible. Hyuga stared intently at the figure behind the high ground. He wanted to use this move to directly blast that mechanic, but with the protection of the 3 defense towers, the high ground remained shielded. Even if he unleashed a full power strike, it would be difficult to break through the shield and take down the enemy at the same time. 3 small blood moons fell like comets, viciously crashing into the 3 defense towers. With a boom, the defense towers instantly collapsed. The other professionals cheered excitedly when they saw the enemy's defense towers destroyed by Hyuga. Minister Abe is powerful. Kill them. Kill them. Seeing the high ground's defense towers destroyed, over a dozen remaining professionals excitedly charged towards the mechanic wearing exoskeleton armor. Senmo Kohima had also hidden nearby, ready to act at any moment. Fujino Animaru and Abe Hyuga also joined the assault force, but for some reason, both of them naturally fell to the rear instead of leading the charge. Lee Hashin's lips curled into a cold smile, murmuring to himself, "Hey, that's what makes them leaders, so cautious indeed. But it's a pity, no matter how cautious you are, you've already stepped into my trap." In the next moment, over 100 rocket cannons suddenly emerged from the edge of the high ground, their dark muzzles uniformly aimed at the center. Abe Hyuga was the first to notice this change. His face changed dramatically. "There's an ambush. He wants mutual destruction. Hima, kill him quickly." Fujino Animaru also shouted in shock. They didn't know Lee Hashin had a mechanical substitute, thinking he was cornered and ready for a mutual end. Senmo Kohima, although not showing himself, was also on the high ground, not far from Lee Hashin. If these 100 rocket cannons fired simultaneously, it would be an inescapable trap. Even Senmo Kohima couldn't withstand it. There were no stakes on the high ground for him to use the substitute technique. As for Fujino Animaru and Abe Hyuga, their opportunities for a full power strike were long gone. Facing such a volley of rocket cannons, they were destined to die. A fierce momentum instantly burst out from Senmo Kohima, with thunderous light surging. Senmo Kohima roared, thunder-style, 1,000-year kill. With a crackle, Senmo Kohima turned into a blue lightning bolt, instantly lunging forward to Lee Hashin. Senmo Kohima's eyes were filled with intense killing intent. Die. In the next moment, Senmo Kohima's right hand, like a lightning spear, fiercely penetrated Lee Hashin's chest. Seeing this scene, Abe Hyuga and Fujino Animaru both sighed in relief, and simultaneously excitement flickered in their eyes. Finally, they killed that damn mechanic. However, in the next moment, an eerie smile suddenly appeared on Lee Hashin's face, and his figure vanished. In his place was a shiny silver-glued pistol. Senmo Kohima's killing intent froze on his face, while Abe Hyuga and Fujino Animaru's pupils shrank instantly. Impossible. What is this trickery? When did the mechanic learn the substitute technique? Voices of shock erupted from the 3 of them. Lee Hashin's figure quietly appeared atop one of the tanks on the edge of the high ground. With a faint smile, he softly uttered the word, "Bang." Before the word fell, 100 rocket cannons roared simultaneously, overwhelming the center from all directions. Boom boom boom. With this violent explosion, the 3 major ministers and the remaining professionals from Sakura country were instantly shredded by the artillery fire. In his dying moments, Senmo Kohima's eyes were fixed on Lee Hashin standing proudly on the tank, filled with shock. He murmured bitterly to himself, "Unlimited ammo, and can even use superpower weapons as a substitute. Sakura country is in big trouble this time. This mechanic is simply invincible." Outside, in the instance hall. Since seeing the names of the 3 major ministers from Sakura country, the professionals inside quickly stopped cheering. Because some professionals had already explained the effect of the Golden Battle Order to everyone. As the 3 major ministers of the Heavenly Light Guild, Fujino Animaru and his equipment were undoubtedly top-notch. Moreover, they were strong professionals at level 78 or 79, each with an opportunity for a full power outburst. In such a situation, even if that woman boss was powerful, she was bound to be doomed. To say the least, Senmo Kohima, the minister of the ninja division, was Sakura country's strongest assassin. If he launched a full power sneak attack, even those suppressed to below level 50 or peers of the same level would struggle to survive. In other words, this woman boss was destined to die. It's over this time. No wonder those sly foxes of Sakura country hid their names to enter. They were afraid that woman would discover their plot and refuse to battle. Such shamelessness. A level 50 camp battle dungeon, and the 3 major ministers personally participate, using such underhanded tricks. The atmosphere among Sakura country and the Freedom Federation was quite the opposite to the East Dragon Empire upon seeing those names revealed when the match started. Truly the 3 major ministers. This is the power of wisdom. Haha, that woman from East Dragon is doomed this time. Hee, those guys from East Dragon must be furious now. Humphrey, she dared to provoke our Sakura Empire, truly courting death, she deserves it. In the Freedom Federation, Parker and others relaxed when they saw the names of the three, Fujino Animaru, Abe Hydia, and Senmo Kohima. Guildmaster Parker Williams chuckled, Kenjin at least has some sense, knowing to nip this woman in the bud. Gotham Branch President James Gordon also laughed, with 3 ministers from Sakura Country personally intervening, there shouldn't be any surprises this time. Hueco Branch President Bruno Collins nodded reservedly, pity, to be honest, I was curious to see what this mysterious woman looked like, but alas, no chance now. In a hidden area of the Kingwa Academy Instance Hall, Wang Qingfeng looked at those ninja names from Sakura Country gradually graying out, full of admiration. Junior brother is as steady as ever, judging by the speed of their deaths. He probably only called in dozens of tanks for firepower coverage. Is he trying to numb those old guys? Ling Xuan revealed a look of appreciation. That seems right, the same tactic he used against those 50 on Myoji, the remaining superpower weapons, he likely ambushed on the high ground. Zhang Zhen chuckled, I wonder what those 3 old guys thought when they believed they'd successfully ambushed junior brother, only to see him suddenly turn into a glute pistol? As Sakura Country began to suffer casualties, the battle situation in the camp battle dungeon surprised many. And the professionals from the East Dragon Empire also shifted from initial curses and indignation to becoming increasingly excited, as if their little universe was igniting. Chapter 63 Danger Level, S Rank. The professionals of the East Dragon Empire looked at the names of Sakura Country turning gray again, slightly astonished. Damn. That female boss must have already seen Abe Hydia and their names, right? She's still fighting, seemingly with no intention of giving up at all. Awesome. Even with the 3 high-ranking officials leading, they still got so many people killed by our female boss. It's over. They've reached our female boss's high ground. Those damned guys have 11 people left, those 3 old guys must still be holding their ultimate moves, the female boss is doomed. Sigh. Our East Dragon finally has someone this badass, and now they're going to be taken down by Sakura Country. What a pity, women can be too arrogant, if she had retreated at the right time, we wouldn't have lost too much. But now, everything's gone. A little while later. Suddenly, the remaining 11 names from Sakura Country all turned gray at the same time, including the 3 high-ranking officials like Abe Hydia. When everyone saw this information on the notice board, the noise and discussions in all the dungeon halls worldwide abruptly stopped. Everyone's eyes widened, a deathly silence fell. Wang Qingfeng waved his hand vigorously, excitedly saying, haha, junior brother, you're awesome. You actually took down the 3 high-ranking officials from Sakura Country. Ling Xuan and Zhang Zhen were also incredibly thrilled. The East Dragon's various dungeon halls erupted with deafening cheers. Wow! Sakura Country's 3 high-ranking officials were actually counter-killed by the female boss. Crazy awesome cool. This isn't just a female boss, she's the Empress of our time. Empress sister, I don't want to try anymore. I'm willing to kiss your feet. Please take me in. Ha ha ha. Sakura Country is screwed all the way to their ancestors' graves this time. The 3 high-ranking officials were all slaughtered, how exciting. In the Heavenly Light Guild, Kobe Kenjin sat on the ground as if he'd seen a ghost. In the Freedom Federation, Parker Williams and the 2 others jumped to their feet in shock. Parker's expression was extremely solemn, and he spoke each word deliberately, this woman must not be allowed to live. He took a deep breath, both ridiculous and shocked, even if she is truly a level 50 professional, under the suppression of level and equipment. She was able to withstand the full power strike of those 3 guys from Sakura Country and even counter-kill all of them. This kind of combat power is likely far superior to Mr. Lee even when he was level 50. If she reaches level 60, 70, or even 80, won't she be even more powerful than Mr. Lee? Having one Mr. Lee in the East Dragon is already enough to cause headaches, adding this woman, won't it mean they will dominate globally? Parker suddenly turned his head, staring intently at James Gordon, his eyes filled with deep apprehension and fear. James, adjust this woman's danger level to S-class, find her at any cost, and kill her. If this woman doesn't die, the East Dragon Empire will surely trample over us in the future. Yes, Chairman. James Gordon, still shocked, nodded heavily. The notice board of the camp battle dungeon changed once again. Sakura Country, can you not handle it? Can't manage the big ones, so you pull 3 small ones? As soon as these words came out, all of East Dragon Empire's dungeon halls burst into laughter. So hilarious. This female boss must be a liberal arts student, her language arts skills are top-notch. Haha, I suspect those illiterates from Sakura Country won't even understand this, what to do? Strongly suggest Sakura Country offer Chinese courses. Not necessarily to align with international standards, but at least to guarantee basic reading comprehension? Sakura Country, are you done playing? Hurry it up if you want to play, I've fought so many rounds, And my stomach is growling? I'll give you 15 more minutes. If no one shows up, I'm going for a midnight snack. Kobe Kenjin looked at the notice on the sign, nearly having a heart attack out of anger. He was huffing and puffing, his eyes entirely bloodshot, staring fiercely at the string of question marks on the notice. Kobe Kenjin's lips couldn't stop trembling, unsure if it was from anger or pain. His voice sounded manic, whispering, "Who are you? Who are you really?" Suddenly, Kobe Kenjin jumped up, shouting furiously, "Someone! Get someone here for me. Gather all the professionals in the guild who are level 50 and below. I don't believe it. This damn woman can't keep killing forever. Wear her down bit by bit." A waiting subordinate outside heard this and trembled all over. He gritted his teeth, hesitated for a moment, then finally gathered the courage to come in, filled with heartache. "Chairman. You must keep calm, you have to pull yourself together. The 3 ministers have already sacrificed heroically. If we continue to send people in, our younger generation of professionals might face a precipitous decline. The number of professionals in our Sakura country can't compare with the vast East Dragon." Looking at the sobbing subordinate, Kobe Kenjin's body shook, and the madness in his eyes seemed to dissipate a bit. He looked dispassionately at the string of question marks on the notice board, his heart bleeding, his face twisted as he mumbled, "Do we just let her go like this? My precious son, so many elites of the heavenly light, and even 3 ministers, The subordinate said with deep anguish, "Chairman. Please stop. This person must be a demon-level genius secretly nurtured by the East Dragon Empire, maybe, she's even connected to the East Dragon's closed country decree. We can't gain any advantage in the camp battle dungeon anymore, we need to think of other ways." Hearing the words closed country decree, Kobe Kenjin's body trembled, finally regaining some of his sanity as the head of the Heavenly Light Guild. His eyes flickered with light, and after a while, he let out an angry roar, finally giving up on sending more people to be slaughtered pointlessly, and headed towards the door. With all 3 ministers defeated, many tasks awaited him to personally handle in the Heavenly Light Guild. Li Hashin idly waited in the preparation room to see if Sakura country would continue to send people in. To be honest, after so many rounds of combat, he was really feeling a bit hungry. Ever since clearing the monsters, he hadn't even had time for dinner because of Sakura country's foolishness. 15 minutes later, no reaction from Sakura country. Li Hashin breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, he could eat? "Sakura country losers, since you're scared, I'm off to eat a midnight snack. Challenge me again next time if you dare." Li Hashin left this line, preparing to dissolve the camp. Just then, a prompt suddenly appeared before his eyes. "After dissolving the camp energy collection will automatically end. Do you want to collect the aura?" Li Hashin's eyes instantly lit up. Damn, nearly forgot about that. Still have some loot to claim. Chapter 64, Supreme Aura Effect, Double Happiness. Li Hashin's eyes flashed with anticipation. This time, in the camp battle dungeon, hundreds of people died in it in total. Moreover, a significant portion of them were professionals above level 50. In the end, even 3 ministers above level 70 contributed their modest power. Having accumulated energy for such a long time, the aura's attributes shouldn't be bad, right? Li Hashin decisively responded, "Collect the aura." Ding. Aura is being generated. As the prompt appeared before him, strands of red light began to converge from all directions, forming a large red halo in front of Li Hashin, resembling a corona. Ding. Aura generated. Please collect the aura. Li Hashin curiously looked at the red corona in front of him and instinctively reached out to gently touch it. At the moment of touching the red corona, the attributes of the aura automatically appeared in Li Hashin's mind. Aura, Spirit Power Blossom, Basic Attributes, increases spiritual power value by 1000 points. Aura Effect, Double Happiness, activated when equipped. Remark, once equipped with this aura, you will have double happiness. Happiness 1, spiritual power value consumption is halved when using skills. Happiness 2, skill quantity doubles when releasing skills. Seeing the aura effect, Li Hashin's eyes slowly widened. Hiss. Double happiness? This skill effect is just insane. As an exceptionally rare special equipment, it's not surprising that the basic spiritual power value increase is substantial. After all, it requires sacrificing at least 100 people to produce it, equivalent to being nurtured by the life of professionals, so the basic attributes naturally won't be bad. To truly judge whether an aura is top grade, the main criterion is still the aura effect. And this aura's effect is absolutely top-notch, and it's universally applicable for all professions. Especially for spellcasting professions, the effect is simply formidable. Having the spiritual power value consumption halved when using skills means that the endurance of spellcasting professions instantly doubles. And having the skill quantity doubled is equally fantastic, coupled with the first effect. Between the halving and doubling, it's not just double happiness, it's fourfold happiness. This is just for ordinary spellcasting professions, but for Lee Hashin, the aura's effect even surpasses epic equipment. What's the strongest aspect of a mechanic? Of course, it's the quantity of superpower weapons. And Lee Hashin's superpower weapons are different from ordinary mechanics. Because he doesn't need to manufacture, as long as he still has spiritual power, he can directly summon them. With this aura, it can be said without exaggeration that Lee Hashin's combat power directly multiplies fourfold. Even his survival ability quadruples. If Lee Hashin has 2,000 points of spiritual power value and summoning a Gatling machine gun originally consumes 2 points of spiritual power, this means, under normal conditions, Lee Hashin can summon 1,000 Gatling machine guns and wildly output for a minute without ammo limits. However, with this aura, the original consumption to summon a Gatling machine gun is halved, becoming 1 point of spiritual power. This also means that with the same spiritual power value, Lee Hashin can summon double the superpower weapons, becoming 2,000 Gatlings. And even more incredible is that this aura has another effect, skill quantity doubles when releasing skills. Meaning, 2,000 Gatlings double again, resulting in 4,000 Gatlings, all with unlimited ammo. Oh my gosh. The scenario is terrifying just to imagine. Moreover, this aura effect applies to the professional themselves. Once Lee Hashin increases his level in the future, his spiritual power value will significantly increase, and the power of superpower weapons will substantially enhance. Then, it will be the true time for this aura to unleash its power. Lee Hashin even trembled slightly with excitement. This is gearing up to be invincible. With a thought, he immediately collected the aura. The red corona instantly entered Lee Hashin's body, manifesting as a faint translucent red halo behind him. Then, Lee Hashin disabled the aura display function, and the halo behind him silently vanished, everything returning to normal. He chuckled, for special equipment like the aura, it must be well hidden. Develop discreetly, strike fatally. After completing all of this, Lee Hashin contentedly exited the preparation room and exited the camp battle dungeon. The instance hall of Kingwa Academy was already bustling with excitement. Everyone was excitedly speculating about the profession and true level of that female boss. In a secret area behind the instance hall, as a white light flashed, Lee Hashin's figure slowly emerged. Wang Qingfeng and his 2 companions saw junior brother coming out and immediately approached. Wang Qingfeng heavily patted Lee Hashin's shoulder, laughing loudly. Junior brother, well done. This time, Sakura country really suffered a huge loss, ha ha ha. Ling Xuan also smiled with satisfaction, indeed. Not only did Ichiro's son die, but even the 3 major ministers of Heavenly Light were defeated by junior brother. Kobe Kinjin must be furious by now. Zhang Zhen's eyes gleamed with praise. It's not just that. Those Sakura country professionals junior brother killed in the camp battle were mostly mid and lower level elite professionals of Heavenly Light Guild, making their loss considerable. Lee Hashin sneered coldly. Sakura country has become increasingly arrogant these years. If we don't show them some toughness, they'll mistake the tiger for a sick cat. Ling Xuan nodded in agreement, with a flash of killing intent in her eyes. Well said. These dwarves deserve to be ruthlessly crushed. At this moment, Wang Qingfeng seemed to suddenly remember something and curiously asked, by the way, junior brother, didn't Kobe Ichiro start the camp's energy storage earlier? With so many people dying in this camp battle dungeon, including 3 powerful professionals above level 70, the aura's attributes and effects should be good, right? On hearing Wang Qingfeng's words, Ling Xuan and Zhang Zhen remembered about the aura and curiously looked at Lee Hashin. Lee Hashin smiled mysteriously. Not just good, the aura's effect is simply beyond epic. As he spoke, Lee Hashin directly displayed the aura without explaining further and publicly showed its effect for the 3 to see directly. Spirit Power Blossom. Directly increases spiritual power value by 1,000 points? Wow, no wonder it's generated by sacrificing so many lives. The basic value is really high. However, when the 3 of them saw the final aura effect, they were so astonished they nearly jumped in place. Chapter 65 Zuxian Building celebrates success. Hiss. 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 The sound of gasping echoed 3 times in succession, almost draining the air from the area. Double happiness? Damn, this isn't double happiness, it's quadruple happiness, spiraling into the sky. Wang Qingfeng's eyes were practically bulging out. Oh my god. This is simply divine equipment for magic-type professions. Ling Xuan's mouth slightly opened, eyes full of envy. It's known that both of them, as vice presidents of 2 of the 3 major guilds of the East Dragon, possess auras. But compared to Lee Hashin's aura effects, theirs are worlds apart, like blue equipment compared to epic. Don't even mention being on par, they're not even in the same league. Zhang Zhen couldn't stop his whole body from trembling. Even his voice was a bit shaky. For ordinary magic-type professions, this is divine equipment, but for my junior brother, It's more than just divine equipment, it's practically a bug. Spiritual power consumption halved, quantity doubled. Just this one piece of equipment directly quadruples my junior brother's superpower weapon count. Wang Qingfeng looked at Li Hashan with bright eyes. Junior brother, this aura gives you an additional 1,000 points of spiritual power. Your total spiritual power should be over 3,000 now, right? Li Hashan nodded. Yes, my spiritual power value is now over 3,300. Ling Xuan quickly started calculating. 3,300 points of spiritual power, if calculated based on tank's spiritual power consumption. Summoning a tank normally consumes 16 spiritual power points. You can summon over 200 tanks in total. On this basis, combined with the aura's double happiness effect, the number directly quadruples to over 800 tanks. Their pupils simultaneously shook. Oh my god, a full 800 tanks, and with unlimited ammo. With this number, never mind unlimited ammo, just one volley would wipe out any professional below level 60, unless they have special abilities, everyone else would be doomed. Even professionals of level 60 or level 70, if bombarded by Li Hashan with unlimited ammo for a minute, would meet a certain death. Does this not mean that Li Hashan, just at level 30, in a frontal battle can already crush 90% of professionals below level 80? This is truly the mechanical war god. Even with Wang Qingfeng and the others' status and composure, they were barely holding themselves together. Gurgle. Just then, a strange sound emerged from Li Hashan. Li Hashan stiffened, a look of embarrassment flashing across his face. Wang Qingfeng and the others paused. Zhongzhen suddenly burst into a chuckle and said, "Hey, I almost forgot, because of the commotion caused by Sakura Country, junior brother hasn't even had dinner yet." Wang Qingfeng also laughed, shaking his head. My bad, was too caught up in the excitement and forgot all about dinner." He waved his hand grandly, chuckling, to celebrate little junior brother taking down the 3 ministers of Sakura Country. "It's on me, let's head to Zuixian building. Oh, by the way, junior sister, could you go back and bring Yui along as well?" Yui earlier said she wanted to wait for junior brother to return for dinner, didn't expect it to be delayed till now. She's probably not eaten yet either. Jiang Wu Yui is Zhongzhen's daughter, normally quite familiar with Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan, often hanging out together. Moreover, the young girl's appearance is sweet and her personality is good. Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan treat her like their own daughter. Mentioning the young girl, Ling Xuan smiled coolly. "Yeah, I almost forgot about that lass. You guys go on ahead, I'll go get Yui." Zhongzhen bowed and smiled. "Thank you, second senior sister." Ling Xuan waved it off without care, tore open a spatial rift, and stepped through, disappearing. Zuixian Building is the most upscale and luxurious hotel in Tanjing City. It's said that the secret owner of Zuixian Building is the royal family, and the chefs here are all former royal chefs. What's more important is that the ingredients used in Zuixian Building are all delicacies obtained from hunting monsters, exceedingly precious. Not only do they satisfy culinary desires, but they also provide considerable benefits to professionals, equivalent to nourishment. In the Emperor Suite at the top of Zuixian Building, right now it was occupied by 3 adults and 2 kids, just 5 people. Jiang Wu Yui just sat down when her lively eyes first landed on Li Hashan, pursing her lips. "Hashan, you sure got your fill of experience this time. I was saying to wait for you guys to have dinner, but look, it's already dark, dinner's become supper." Li Hashan glanced at Ling Xuan in surprise. "Second senior sister, you didn't tell her?" Ling Xuan shrugged. "I just brought her over, didn't have time to say anything yet." Zhongzhen shook his head helplessly, while Wang Qingfeng watched Jiang Wu Yui's playful scolding with interest, teasing, "Yui, don't blame Hashan, he's been risking his life to gain face for our East Dragon Empire, didn't even have time to eat." "Gaining face for the East Dragon Empire?" Jiang Wu Yui immediately paused, puzzled. "Uncle Wang, what do you mean by that?" Ling Xuan chuckled, gesturing towards Li Hashan. "Junior brother, show Yui your new equipment." Jiang Wu Yui already knew Li Hashan's background, and given her status, she would never reveal Li Hashan's secrets. Thus, Wang Qingfeng and the others didn't intend to hide it from her. Seeing her senior brothers and sister all watching with amused looks, Li Hashan chuckled and shook his head, internally muttering, "You all, at this age, still have such a playful nature. You've finished being astonished and now want to see others astonished." With a face full of confusion, Jiang Wu Yui asked, "New equipment? Low-level professionals shouldn't have any equipment that interests Aunt Ling, right?" Jiang Wu Yui looked towards Li Hashan with curiosity. "Did you encounter the Abyss Dungeon again?" In her understanding, below level 50, it seems only the exquisite legendary orange items from the Abyss Dungeon would warrant Ling Xuan and the others' attention. Li Hashan didn't explain, directly removing the concealment and revealing the aura behind him. As a semi-transparent red aura appeared behind Li Hashan, Jiang Wuyui's large eyes slowly widened. Her rosy lips parted slightly, surprised. Aura? Where did you get this special equipment? Isn't his something only produced in camp battle dungeons? Jiang Wuyui subconsciously started speaking but trailed off before finishing. Then, under the amused gazes of Ling Xuan and the others, Jiang Wuyui's eyes suddenly widened. Her gaze towards Li Hashan grew increasingly shocked, even instinctively reaching to cover her mouth. Chapter 66, An Unexpected Encounter with Beida. Jiang Wuyui's eyes flashed with a strange light, staring at Li Hashan, exclaiming, You are. SHH. Zhang Zhen smiled, hurriedly stopping his daughter from finishing her sentence. Facing Jiang Wuyui's shocked gaze, Li Hashan smiled and nodded slightly. Jiang Wuyui still wore an expression of disbelief, instinctively looking towards Wang Qingfeng and the others, seemingly needing them to affirm her speculation. Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan also nodded with interest. With her inner answer confirmed, Jiang Wuyui's face was still full of incredulity. Today, the camp confrontation stir initiated by Sakura Country against the East Dragon Empire was huge. Although Jiang Wuyui didn't go to the instance hall, she kept watching the event through online streaming at home. But because the mysterious strong figure was a female boss, she never connected that female boss with Li Hashan. Moreover, in her view, facing the three ministers of Sakura Country, who still retained the full power strike capability at level 70, even with Li Hashan's powerful unlimited ammo, it was impossible for him to be their match. Additionally, given how much her father and the others valued Li Hashan, they shouldn't let him participate in such a deadly camp battle dungeon, because it was too dangerous. If anything happened to Li Hashan, it would really be a huge loss. So she never imagined that the mysterious strong figure who caused a huge sensation in the entire East Dragon Empire today was actually Li Hashan. Jiang Wuyui looked at Li Hashan, bewildered, and asked in shock, How did you? Li Hashan chuckled and simply displayed his attribute panel. Instinctively, Jiang Wuyui looked over, and with just one glance, her pupils contracted slightly. You've already reached level 30 so quickly? Then, when she saw Li Hashan's skills and talent, her pupil shook even more. Heavy tank? Me, mechanical substitute? Oh my god. This. Jiang Wuyui's beautiful eyes sparkled with wonder, and she covered her mouth even tighter. Combining Li Hashan's previous talent and skills, Jiang Wuyui immediately realized why Wang Qingfeng and the others dared to let Li Hashan participate in the Sakura Country's camp battle dungeon against the East Dragon. With Li Hashan's current spiritual power value, combined with that terrifying number of superpower weapons, his frontal attack power was invincible under level 50. Plus, the mechanical substitute solved Li Hashan's weak defense issue, not to mention the fact that the three ministers from Sakura Country each only had one chance to use their full power strike. Even if they had 10 chances, they wouldn't stand a chance against Li Hashan. Then, Jiang Wuyui turned her gaze to behind Li Hashan, revealing a look of anticipation. The aura produced by sacrificing so many professionals, and judging by the situation, even Ling Xuan and the others highly revered it, the aura effect must be incredibly powerful, right? As Li Hashan opened up the aura attributes, Jiang Wuyui's eyes immediately widened. Spiritual power value instantly increased by 1,000 points. And the aura effect. Double happiness? Hiss. Jiang Wuyui took a deep breath, her big eyes widened even more, and her face revealed even more shock than before. This aura effect seemed almost tailor-made for Li Hashan. An image of rocket cannons firing chaotically flashed in Jiang Wuyui's mind, causing her delicate body to tremble. Hashan's mechanic abilities are truly abnormal. Seeing Jiang Wuyui's cute expression, Wang Qingfeng and the others burst into laughter. Yes, this is exactly the reaction. Watching others be shocked is really satisfying. In the cheerful atmosphere among everyone, various exquisite and sumptuous dishes were served at the table, all boasting of color, aroma, and taste. Li Hashan's eyes lit up, as he eagerly ate a piece of tyrant carp sashimi with one chopstick and some braised duck on the other, thoroughly enjoying himself. Meanwhile, he was pleasantly surprised to discover that the ingredients at Xuexian building were indeed like the legends, all being extraordinary. With just a few bites, Li Hashan even felt his strength, speed, spiritual power, and other attributes had slightly increased. Although the increase was small, only 1 or 2 points, these were all permanent enhancements. No wonder Xuexian building is known as the most luxurious hotel in the East Dragon Empire, truly extraordinary. Wang Qingfeng and the others only ate a few bites each before stopping with a smile, watching Li Hashan devour everything. Even though the food at Xuexian building is very beneficial for professionals, it also has its limits. Beyond a certain limit, it no longer provides that permanent attribute enhancement effect. Given Wang Qingfeng and the others' status, They had already reached this limit long ago. Not to mention them. Jiang Wuyuiu, as Zhang Zhen's daughter and the favored goddaughter in Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan's eyes, had also reached the limit long ago. Therefore, after filling her stomach, Jiang Wuyuiu stopped eating and watched Li Hashan relish his meal with a smile. After such a long camp battle, Li Hashan was genuinely hungry now. After watching for a while, Jiang Wuyuiu felt the urge to relieve herself, excused herself, and headed towards the restroom. But unexpectedly, after addressing her physiological needs, she ran into an old enemy, and her delicate little face suddenly darkened. Jiang Wuyuiu? What are you doing here? A cold, slightly hostile female voice asked in surprise. Jiang Wuyuiu's voice turned cold as well. Why, is Zuixian building opened by your family? You can be here, but I can't. Yun Lan's expression changed, ready to retort, but Yun Miao beside her spoke first. Yun Miao's expression shifted slightly, and she asked with an indifferent tone, since you're here, that means Zhang Zhen must be here too? Did you book the sunrise in the east? Although Jiang Wuyuiu did not have a good impression of Yun Miao, she had to hold her temper due to Yun Miao's status. Yes. The sunrise in the east was the emperor suite they were in. Yun Miao's eyes flashed, squinting slightly. Jiang Wuyuiu was unaware that Yun Miao's question was actually probing. Cloud Miao was well aware of Zhang Zhen's identity. As Mr. Li's youngest direct disciple, although Zhang Zhen did not hold a significant position in Qinghua Academy, his status was definitely not low. The reason why he did not hold a real power position in Qinghua Academy was, firstly, his cultivation was not enough, and secondly, he valued Jiang Wuyuiu more, hoping to spend more time with his daughter. But in reality, Zhang Zhen was quite valued by Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan, and their relationship was very good among the three of them. Generally speaking, even with Zhang Zhen's status, unless there was something special, he would rarely dine at the Emperor's suite at Zuixian building. But today, something special happened. That was the camp battle dungeon initiated by Sakura Country. It should be known that Yun Miao's status in Beida Academy was not low. But even she was not aware that the East Dragon Empire had such a hidden female boss. Chapter 67 The empty seat in the Emperor's private box. Due to the sudden national prohibition proposed by Marshal Li, Beida Academy has been extremely sensitive to any unusual movements from the East Dragon Empire. And today, ever since that mysterious woman suddenly appeared in the camp battle dungeon, Beida Academy has been tirelessly probing for information. Among the lower-level professionals in the East Dragon Empire, only a few are impressive. Most of the powerful professionals are essentially affiliated with various formidable guilds. Since this mysterious woman is not a member of the Return of the Dead, it's highly likely that she belongs to either the Dragon Group or the Nuclear Peace Elites. But why had Yun Miao and the others never heard of her before, even being unaware that such a demon-level genius existed? Could it be that the mysterious woman has a special identity, or some particular reason, that Marshal Li has kept her hidden? What's more perplexing to Yun Miao is, what method did this mysterious woman use to kill so many people, including Kobayashi? Even considering an intermediate professional above level 50, entering the camp battle dungeon through level and equipment balance, it's impossible to single-handedly kill so many opponents. Moreover, the three ministers of Sakura Country came personally. However, it was precisely because the three ministers of Sakura Country entered the instance that Yun Miao and the others suddenly developed another hypothesis. Could this mysterious woman, like the three ministers, have entered using a golden battle order? The reason she could kill so many people from Sakura Country, besides her own mystery and power, might be that her level is too high, with basic attributes and skill numbers far exceeding others. Because she also possessed the skillful power strike, she could catch the three ministers of Sakura Country off guard and counter-kill them instantly. After killing them, she immediately chose to withdraw, using the excuse of having a late-night snack because she had already used up her trump cards. If that's the case, then this mysterious woman is likely at least a level 70 or above powerhouse. Moreover, she is a demon-level genius Mr. Li has hidden for who knows how many years. Therefore, upon seeing Jiang Wuyuiu just now, Yun Miao immediately associated her with the late-night snack excuse of that mysterious woman. If that mysterious woman is indeed someone whom Marshal Li has kept hidden and is a demon-level powerhouse above level 70, her status and position are certainly not simple. At such a time, such a figure, if she really wants to have a late-night snack, choosing the Imperial Suite at the Zuixian building seems reasonable, right? Thinking along these lines, if Zhang Zhen accompanies this mysterious woman for a meal, and even Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan make an appearance, it doesn't seem so strange, does it? Thinking of these, a light flashed in Yun Miao's eyes, and she immediately made a decision. She suddenly flashed a smile and said to Jiang Wuyuiu, just as well, I have some matters regarding the screening of foreign professionals to discuss with your father. Since your father happens to be here, I'll go and say hello to him. Without waiting for Jiang Wuyui's response, Yun Miao turned around and quickly walked towards Sunrise Orient. As a frequent visitor here, Yun Miao naturally knew where the Emperor's suite was located. Seeing Yun Miao leave quickly, Jiang Wuyui first froze, then her expression slightly changed. As Zhang Zhen's daughter, Jiang Wuyui still maintained certain vigilance and sensitivity about some matters. After all, besides Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan, Li Hashan was also inside the suite. Using Zhang Zhen's relationship to have a meal with Wang Qingfeng and the others can be justified. But what about Li Hashan? On the surface, Li Hashan's identity is just a new student who has just entered Qinghua Academy. Even if he performed outstandingly during the college selection, it's impossible for him to sit and dine with people of Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan's level as soon as he enters the academy. Unless Li Hashan, for some reason, has caught Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan's attention. She hurriedly caught up and shouted loudly, "Wait, Senior Yun, you!" However, Yun Miao gave Jiang Wuyui no chance to stop her. She quickly dashed to the entrance of Sunrise Orient in a few strides. Grabbing the handle, she swiftly turned it with a click and stepped inside. As she entered the suite, Yun Miao's gaze immediately swept toward the dining table, her pupils slightly contracting. Li Hashan? At this moment, 4 people were seated at the dining table. 3 of them were very familiar to her, and one of them was, of course, Jiang Wuyui's father, Zhang Zhen. The other 2 were unmistakably the master figures of the Dragon Group and Nuclear Peace elites, Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan. The 3 disciples of Marshal Li had actually gathered here. In addition to them, there was also the flamboyant newly promoted professional she had previously seen in Four Symbol City, Li Hashan. Upon seeing Li Hashan, a look of surprise and suspicion immediately flashed in Yun Miao's eyes, and an unbelievable thought emerged in her mind. Is it him? Could he be the mysterious powerhouse in a camp battle dungeon? But immediately afterwards, Yun Miao dismissed this thought. No, that's not right. Earlier, there should have been another person in the room. Yun Miao's gaze quickly skipped over Li Hashan and fell on the empty seat beside him. There were 2 empty seats on either side of Li Hashan. A pink jacket was draped over the back of the chair on the left, clearly a style favored by young girls. Needless to say, this must be Jiang Wuyui's seat. On Li Hashan's right side, there was also an empty seat. In front of the empty seat on the table was a small bowl, with half-eaten shrimp inside, and some food scraps nearby. It appeared as if a diner had suddenly left mid-meal. Yun Miao looked steadily at the empty seat, her gaze swept over the window left ajar, eyes flashing with light. At this moment, Li Hashan was staring at Yun Miao in surprise. He seemed utterly bewildered by Yun Miao's sudden entrance. With a faint smile on his face, Wang Qingfeng slowly spoke, "Isn't this teacher Yun Miao? What a coincidence, meeting here." Yun Miao's gaze slightly deepened as she glanced at Wang Qingfeng and the 2 others, suddenly smiling. "I never expected Vice President Wang and Vice President Ling to be here too. It's rare for the 2 presidents to have time amidst your busy schedules to dine at the Zuxian building. Oh? Who might that empty seat belong to over there? Why don't I see anyone?" Yun Miao's gaze swept towards the empty seat to the right of Li Hashan, speaking with a testing smile. Li Hashan immediately spoke, almost as if in a rush. "No one, this was my previous seat. I accidentally spilled water on it earlier, so I switched to this side." While speaking, Li Hashan, seemingly afraid that Yun Miao wouldn't believe him, picked up the half shrimp from the bowl and popped it into his mouth. Chapter 68 Great Wisdom of Yun Lan. Yun Miao's gaze swept over the bowl in front of Li Hashan, clearly in disbelief. "A kid wet behind the ears, trying to deceive me with such a clumsy excuse?" Yun Miao sneered inwardly. Behind Yun Miao, Jiang Wuyui looked at the empty seat beside Li Hashan, a flash of surprise on her charming face. Then, she quickly caught on, admiringly glanced at Li Hashan, her panic quietly subsiding, and sat back in her own seat. Jiang Wuyui smiled as she spoke. "Senior Yun, weren't you looking for my dad to talk about something? He's right over there." Zhang Zhen raised an eyebrow, seeming to smile as he said, "Oh? Is Teacher Yun looking for me for something?" Yun Miao gave Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan a deep look before turning to Zhang Zhen with a smile. "It's nothing major, just wanted to ask Teacher Zhang, you should already know about today's camp battle dungeon, right? I wonder if Teacher Zhang knows who that mysterious woman is? I didn't expect our East Dragon Empire to have such a heroine. I'd really like to meet her." Zhang Zhen smiled faintly. "So that's it. I won't hide it, Teacher Yun, I'm also very curious about this heroine. It's just a pity that she might be a reclusive master hidden among the people, not widely known, and thus difficult to meet. Is that so? That's really a pity." Yun Miao cast a glance at the empty seat beside Li Hashan with a half-smiling look. "Oh, right, Vice President Wang, Vice President Ling, The two of you are usually busy with official duties. What brings you here to dine with the youngsters today? Yun Miao shifted the topic, looking at Li Hashan. Wang Qingfeng smiled faintly, looking at Jiang Wu Yui, teasingly saying, Yui grew up under our watchful eyes. When she finds a boyfriend, we, as elders, naturally have to come and check him out. Yun Miao was taken aback. She hadn't expected Wang Qingfeng to give such an answer. Jiang Wu Yui's body also stiffened, then her charming face flushed slightly, glaring coyly at Wang Qingfeng. Uncle Wang, what are you saying? At the same time, Jiang Wu Yui subconsciously glanced at Li Hashan, who looked calm. Yun Miao's gaze swept over Jiang Wu Yui's face, showing a knowing and puzzled expression. Beside her, Yun Lan also looked at Li Hashan with surprise. She didn't expect that Li Hashan, who had just entered Qinghua Academy, had already won over Jiang Wu Yui. Yun Miao looked at Wang Qingfeng with meaning, so that's it, haha, I didn't expect Vice President Wang to care so much about a younger generation, taking time off from such a busy schedule to be concerned about the children's emotional lives. Finally, glancing at the open window, Yun Lan's smile faded, and she said flatly, in that case, I won't disturb your meal any longer, farewell. After speaking, she decisively turned and left. Take care, no need to see us out. Zhang Zhen said with a faint smile. Closing the door, Yun Miao led Yun Lan away briskly. Teacher, that empty seat beside Li Hashan? Yun Lan asked in a low voice. A gleam flashed in Yun Miao's eyes, she affirmed, just now, there was definitely someone else in the private room, but that person must have been startled by us and left early through the window. Humphrey, that kid Li Hashan thinks he can hide it with such a feeble excuse, it's laughable. I've eaten more salt than he's eaten rice. Yun Miao snorted coldly and continued, when we went in, I kept secretly observing Li Hashan's every move. When that kid was picking shrimp, his eyes inadvertently glanced toward the window, he clearly has a guilty conscience. The person sitting next to him should have quietly left through the window before we went in. Yun Miao paused slightly, her voice carrying concealed excitement. If I'm not mistaken, the person worthy of Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan accompanying should be that mysterious female boss from today's camp battle dungeon. Although Yun Lan had anticipated this, hearing her teacher say it still surprised her. Teacher, does this mean the mysterious female boss is someone from the Dragon Group or Peace Elite? Yun Miao nodded heavily, most probably. Moreover, that woman is likely an expert secretly trained by Marshal Li, and the earlier interdiction order may well have been issued because of her. If I'm correct, that woman should be Marshal Li's secret weapon for the upcoming international battle dungeon. Yun Lan asked in confusion, but teacher, if that mysterious woman is indeed Marshal Li's secret weapon, why would she expose herself before the international battle dungeon? Wouldn't that attract the attention of other countries prematurely? Yun Miao shook her head, no, this was merely an accident. Her eyes shimmered with a thoughtful light, as if she had already seen through it all. To make an impact in the international battle dungeon, that woman's true level is likely at least over level 70. And her profession should be very special, perhaps even a unique super god profession similar to Marshal Li's, far exceeding ordinary illusion gods. If it were a known illusion god profession, even with the Golden Battle Order, she couldn't have single-handedly slaughtered so many professionals from Sakura Country in the camp battle dungeon, including geniuses like Kobayashi and the 3 ministers of Sakura Country. I suspect that Marshal Li's original intent for the interdiction order was to protect her. After all, with the international battle dungeon approaching, various countries have already started preparing in secret. Especially for a frontline major country like our East Dragon Empire, it naturally draws the attention of all nations internationally. Marshal Li's move was to counteract foreign spies for her protection. But Marshal Li probably didn't expect Sakura Country's reaction to be so intense, causing such trouble and killing so many of us. Yun Miao shook her head. Without Sakura Country sparking the camp battle dungeon, that mysterious woman would never have exposed her presence beforehand and would certainly have remained hidden until the international battle dungeon began, surprising everyone. After listening to Yun Miao's analysis, Yun Lan was full of admiration. Teacher truly is a wise person, to have unraveled the series of events from a chance encounter tonight. Yun Miao smirked slightly with some pride, it's all experience. Once you've seen more things in your life, naturally, you'll understand more clearly. Yun Lan agreed wholeheartedly, yes, teacher. Yun Miao nodded slightly, yes, but speaking of which, tonight was also by chance, just happened to run into Wang Qingfeng and the others at Zuixian building. Now that we know that woman is someone under Marshal Li, we can find ways to gather specific information about her. To be honest, I'm quite curious about what profession that woman might have. Yun Miao's eyes flashed with a sharp light, murmuring softly. Chapter 69, Life is like a play. It all depends on acting. Listening to Yun Miao's mutters, Yun Lan's thoughts drifted in another direction. She wondered, teacher, If that mysterious woman warrior is indeed a formidable professional over level 70, secretly cultivated by Marshal Lee as a secret weapon for international war instances, then her appearance here is justified. But what about that Lee Hashin? Even if he leveled up quickly initially, and who knows by what means he defeated the illusions of me and Jiang Wu Yu. But no matter how you look at it, he's just a low-level professional over 20 levels, so why is he sitting with people like Wang Qingfeng and Ling Xuan for a meal? Hearing her disciple's question, Yun Miao, after a brief thought, spoke with a look of understanding everything. If I'm not mistaken, there's likely some connection between that mysterious woman and Lee Hashin. As she spoke, Yun Miao seemed to affirm her hypothesis, nodding heavily. That kid Lee Hashin is very likely the disciple of that powerful woman. And the reason he can level up so fast, even managing to kill your and Jiang Wu Yu's illusions in a short time, probably has a lot to do with that woman. A glint flashed in Yun Miao's eyes, and she spoke more excitedly. I suspect that woman's power is likely related to beast taming or summoning, but in terms of strength, far exceeds ordinary beast tamers and summoners. Moreover, her summoned creatures should be able to be temporarily lent to others like a beast tamer. So, the fast leveling of Lee Hashin might not be due to exploiting instance bugs, but by leveraging external power far beyond his current level. Yun Miao looked at her disciple with a knowing smile. Lanner, haven't you noticed? At the dining table earlier, that empty seat of the strong woman was right next to Lee Hashin, and the other side was Jiang Wu Yu. What's this indicating? It suggests that the person originally sitting in that empty seat is very close to Lee Hashin, akin to a senior in his family. It's precisely because of her that Lee Hashin was able to get close to Jiang Wu Yu as soon as he entered Qinghua Academy and even became her boyfriend. Yun Miao sneered. Jiang Wu Yu appears outgoing and generous, but in reality, her pride is no less than yours. If Lee Hashin were truly just an ordinary orphan, I can't believe Jiang Wu Yu would agree to be his girlfriend so easily. Humphrey. So even though this kid is just a scrap mechanic, he is still so unique. Fundamentally, it's not because his profession is strong or that he has some special ability, but because he has a powerful professional over level 70 hiding behind him. I guess that woman must have been attracted by Lee Hashin's unprecedented full spiritual power value. Hey, but alas, human plans can't compete with fate. Although Lee Hashin has full spiritual power, the profession he awakened to is the most marginalized illusion god, mechanic. I must say, that woman truly favors Lee Hashin. Even after he awakened to such a useless profession, she is still willing to protect him with her abilities and even found ways to send him to Qinghua. Yun Lan suddenly realized, so that's how it is. Yun Miao pondered aloud, however, this way, Lee Hashin becomes a clue for us. We can investigate that woman's true identity through Lee Hashin. I don't believe that, having shown her hand, that woman can keep hiding, Humphrey. As the two figures walked further away, Yun Miao's voice slowly faded in the corridor. Sunrise Oriental Suite. After Yun Miao left, Jiang Wu Yu was about to speak but was stopped by a glance from Ling Xuan. Jiang Wu Yu immediately shut her mouth, and the room fell into silence. A moment later, Ling Xuan carefully sensed for a while, making sure Yun Miao and the others had gone far, then waved her hand. As a silver-white light spread out, a faint spatial fluctuation enveloped the entire room, and Ling Xuan gently nodded to everyone. All right, you all can speak now. With Ling Xuan's signal, Jiang Wu Yu controlled her voice, looked at the empty seat next to Lee Hashin, and asked excitedly, Aunt Ling, was this empty seat purposely set for them to see? Ling Xuan gave Lee Hashin an admiring glance. We owe it all to Hashin's quick wit. After hearing your shout outside the door just now, we immediately guessed that Yun Miao might rush in to inspect. Initially, I wanted to avoid it with Hashin, but Hashin said that even if we dodged this time, he would be seen by others as he spent more time with us in the future. Rather than that, it's better to divert attention and shift the focus elsewhere. Wang Qingfeng approvingly nodded. I have to admit, junior brother's consideration was indeed meticulous. In Yun Miao's view, running into us tonight was entirely accidental. Only such an accidental encounter will make Yun Miao firmly believe that the female boss truly exists. Zhang Zhen couldn't help but laugh. Exactly. Earlier, Hashin exemplified the art of feigned retreat perfectly, highlighting the persona of a young man, eager to conceal yet lacking social experience completely. Ling Xuan chuckled with a tinge of sarcasm. Self-proclaimed wise old hands like Yun Miao will only believe in things they see with their own eyes. And Hashin's performance just now was enough for her to believe in the existence of the female boss. Wang Qingfeng smiled and nodded. Not only that, I suspect Yun Miao has now likely filled in many details and conjectures about that female boss on her own. In the future, her emphasis on Hashin will significantly decline, and even if she frequently sees us with Hashin, she won't focus on him but will try to investigate and ponder the non-existent female boss through him. Listening to everyone's discussion, Jiang Wuyu giggled at Li Hashan. Hashan, do you think Yan Miao and the others might think that the female boss is some distant relative of yours? Li Hashan chuckled, teasingly saying, why does it have to be a distant relative? Can't she be my confidant? Jiang Wuyu glared at him, cursing, Humphrey, dream on. You, a mere low-level professional, dare to hope for such a powerful female confidant. Li Hashan sighed, nodded, and said, true, a 30-level nobody like me. If I were to look for a confidant, it would probably be a low-level professional like you. Jiang Wuyu raised an eyebrow and shoved a chicken leg into Li Hashan's mouth, angrily exclaiming, how dare you make fun of me? Eat your chicken leg. Wang Qingfeng and others burst into laughter. Chapter 70 Encrypted video calls after dinner. It was already getting close to midnight. Li Hashan, having spent half a day on the camp battle dungeon, was mentally exhausted and decided not to continue with the endless altar. Instead, he returned to his new home with Zhongzhen and others to rest. The next day, Li Hashan was awakened early by Ling Xuan and Zhongzhen to continue their monster hunting endeavor. At this moment, in Sakura country, at the headquarters of Amaterasu, in the meeting room, Kobe Kenjin stared gloomily at the large screen, where a middle-aged man with neatly groomed blonde hair and a stern expression was displayed. Kobe Kenjin, you initiated an encrypted call to reach me, for what purpose? Parker Williams asked in a deep voice. Kobe Kenjin showed respect and said in a low voice, President Parker, I have received some information about that woman from the East Dragon Empire. Oh? Parker Williams sat up slightly straighter and his expression became more serious. Let's hear it. Although Kobe Kenjin didn't specify who that woman was, at this moment, it was clear that he could only be referring to the woman who had taken down Sakura country's 3 major ministers in the camp battle dungeon, for no one else would warrant such solemn attention from Kobe Kenjin. Kobe Kenjin said solemnly, according to the information I have, that woman is likely a secret weapon secretly cultivated by Mr. Lee for the upcoming international war instance. And the reason she was able to kill so many of our Sakura warriors might be because her profession is something like Mr. Lee's super god profession, of a strength far exceeding that of a typical illusion god. At the same time, we suspect her actual level might be above 70, and she likely also participated in the camp battle dungeon using the Golden Battle Order. And the reason she managed to counter-kill Abe Hydia and the others in the end might be through the use of that full-power strike ability. Super God profession? Level 70? Parker Williams's gaze suddenly sharpened. He did not question the source or reliability of Kobe Kenjin's information, as if there were no doubts about it. The light in Parker Williams's eyes flickered, as if pondering the possibility of what Kobe Kenjin said. After a moment, he slowly spoke, your speculations have some merit. The combat power that woman displayed in the camp battle dungeon does indeed far exceed that of existing illusion god professions. If it were just an average illusion god profession, even if capable of killing those 3 of yours from Amaterasu, she wouldn't have been so fast. So, she is likely a super god professional. Parker Williams paused slightly, his voice dropping. However, I believe her actual level might not necessarily be 70, possibly at the peak of level 60. Kobe Kenjin asked puzzled, why? Parker Williams replied indifferently, back then, Mr. Lee didn't reveal himself until after reaching level 70, and by that time, he was already invincible among his peers. Although Mr. Lee's awakened creator isn't particularly prominent in attack power, it's extremely strong in self-preservation and flexibility. Unless his spiritual power value is exhausted, no one can do anything to him. But I am certain that if that mysterious woman were to replace Mr. Lee back then, she wouldn't necessarily be able to carry out such one-sided slaughter. At the very least, in terms of killing speed, Mr. Lee certainly cannot compare to this woman. Saying this, Parker Williams's gaze turned somber. The profession this woman awakened to has attack power that is absolutely far superior to Mr. Lee's, and she appears to excel at group battles. Therefore, in each battle, she can kill all her opponents in just a few minutes. Kobe Kenjin, thinking of the timing of those previous camp battle dungeons, was taken aback. He exclaimed in shock, if that's the case, doesn't that make that woman even more terrifying than Mr. Lee? Parker Williams gently shook his head, no, quite the opposite. Once we know who she is, her threat level is actually much lower than Mr. Lee's. Kobe Kenjin asked puzzled, why? Parker Williams chuckled softly, every professional has imperfections, strengths and weaknesses, even for a super god profession. Mr. Lee's creator has nearly unrivaled self-preservation, but its attack power is much more mediocre. For this woman, with such strong attack power, her self-preservation in comparison to peers at the same level surely won't be as prominent. Otherwise, why would she immediately withdraw after killing those 3 of yours? Parker Williams sneered lightly, suddenly seeming more relaxed. So, I think this woman might be a high offense, low defense super god profession, proficient in group battles, similar to the mechanics of the East Dragon Empire. With such a level of attack power, even if she is a professional over level 60, it's possible to wipe out your 3 ministers. Kobe Kinjin suddenly understood, so that's it. A flash of cold light appeared in Parker Williams's eyes. If that's the case, while this woman remains someone to pay attention to, she is much easier to deal with compared to Mr. Lee. Kobe Kinjin gritted his teeth. Yes. President Parker, if you lay out a plan targeting her, please be sure to let me participate as she has killed my child. A flash of cold light appeared in Parker Williams's eyes.